Tell me something. How's your back? Do you have neck pain? Hi, I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC with Genesis Back and Neck, and I want you to know something. There's help out there for you.
My name is Steve. I had 10 herniated discs in my back, and that's pretty bad. I basically couldn't walk without help. Dr. Chad and spinal decompression saved me. I can't stress that enough. To be mobile again, to have freedom of movement is pretty much a miracle for me. And I'm so grateful to Genesis Back and Neck.
That just blesses me to hear that. Imagine no addictive drugs, no invasive surgery. Spinal decompression is safe. It's FDA cleared. It's not painful, and it has a huge success rate. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Please stop hurting and call me. 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922 or online at genesisback.com.
94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome a Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
Saying "I don't know" is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. What did you think about the debates? 866-660-5759. Who won? Who lost and why? Who surprised you? Who got your attention? Carly Fiorina got my attention big time. The Republican Party needs to put her on the main stage. The Republican Party needs to start listening to the people who cast votes for that party or don't based on what the Republican Party leadership does. And they need to start doing that post-haste. 866-660-5759. John McGee, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Well, it's a pleasure to speak with you.
Hey, buddy.
I'm going to give you 3 or 4 points if I'm given the time to do so.
Please.
First of all, I thought that Fox seriously mishandled it. What I would have preferred to have seen, I would have preferred to have seen 3 debates with 6, 6, and 5. I would have preferred to see it over 3 nights, like a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. I would have preferred that the moderators be chosen at random. I would like to have seen George Will and Krauthammer do some of the questioning. The person, of course, who really hit the grand slam home run, that was Fiorina. I mean, she drove it not out of the over the wall. She sent it out of the stadium.
Yep.
I was surprised at how well Marco Rubio did for being as young as he is. I personally would like to see a combination of Jindal or Scott Walker or Kasich, along with Fiorina as being our ticket, but the other debates are going to have to take place. I thought that Ben Carson, if somebody doesn't take him as Surgeon General, it's a tragedy.
They don't have any reason to be the president.
He's not going to make president. He doesn't have the foreign policy experience. Has nothing to do with his color, Jon-David.
No. But the thing about it is that if there was ever a cabinet position that needed somebody who really knew what he was doing, it would be the Surgeon General.
Absolutely.
Considering the comedy that has been purveyed in that office over the years, the other thing about it is it'd be a great way for him to get a catbird seat on what happens in presidential politics, and let's invest a some really serious, good education into Ben Carson and see what happens. I bet you he'd make a great president.
He would. But I think certainly if he's, and I don't think he's going to be elected this time around, but it'd be a travesty not to have that man with his intellect as a Surgeon General. I don't think that Rick Perry is going to make the final cut. I don't think that Santorum is, although I truly like Rick Santorum.
He's so good.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But I'll let somebody else get in and give you their thoughts. But all in all, I thought that it was good, but it could have been better. And I just thought that it wasn't aligned. They didn't give the candidates more than 6 or 7 minutes of total airtime, and you need more than that for something. Look, the objective is to try to clean up the mess that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton have left behind. It is this. The next president is going to face a. Did you see the jobs numbers today?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I'll let you cut 94 million people looking for work or suffering through part-time work, and full Obamacare has not even hit yet, Jon-David.
Right. You're right. It's going to be a mess.
It's going to be a mess. And not only that, we're going to I still believe there's going to be a major war in the Middle East within the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, it's just, it's a travesty, Jon-David.
You're exactly right, John. And by the way, you're not the only person that's looking for a really serious problem in the Middle East. John Bolton on yesterday's broadcast said as much. And it was day before yesterday, right? Yeah, day before yesterday's broadcast said as much. You know, he's concerned about the next 18 months, and I agree 100%. I still can't figure out why Iran would be negotiating at all if they didn't have a functioning weapon, or at least a very sure confidence level in a functioning weapon. Okay, and that means that Israel's going to move and so on and so on. Talking about the debate, though, who got your attention, who won, who lost, tell us next. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I love birthdays, and our friends at Abacus Foundation Repair are celebrating 15 years of serving North Texas with the highest quality foundation repair, and they want to give something to you. On their 15th anniversary, $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. Not only are you going to save $1,000, you'll have the peace of mind knowing that with Abacus Foundation, you're getting the elite state-of-the-art solution for your home. Millennium composite pilings. Nobody else has them. Abacus has an A-plus business rating from the Better Business Bureau, 6 straight years running on that. The expansion and contraction of Texas soils mean a lot of us have foundation issues. You don't want to call the wrong people. Call the right people first for the absolute best foundation repair. Affordable, reliable home warranty that you can pass on to subsequent owners of your home. Give them a call today, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, abacusfoundationrepair.com. Ask about $1,000 off. abacusfoundationrepair.com.
You just can't get your house to cool down, and your AC, well, it's running nonstop. The AC Service Company says it's running correctly, but it's still too hot. Who you gonna call? Heat Busters! Call 817-422-6868 or visit theheatbusters.com to get a free energy analysis on your home or business. The Heat Busters are experts in radiant barrier, insulation, high-capacity solar attic fans, and more. In Texas, you need more than just an air conditioner. You need an all-over plan. That's where the Heat Busters come in with amazing, affordable solutions to cool your home. They'll seal up those leaks, install solar control, window film, and more. When you need more to cool your home, you should call Heat Busters. Call 817-422-6868 today or visit theheatbusters.com to get cool and start keeping more of your money. They bust the heat, they bust the cold, they bust discomfort and outrageous utility bills. Call 817-422-6868 or online at theheatbusters.com.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-573-2467. That's 1-800-573-2467. 1-800-573-2467. 2467 or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Sample comes with a 90-day order. Copays and deductibles may apply.
If you or someone you care for are using painful urinary catheters, Medical Direct Club can help. There's a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample with free shipping by calling now. Pain and urinary tract infections can be avoided if you're using urinary catheters. The new disposable catheters from Medical Direct Club hurt less due to an incredible new design that reduces pain by gliding easily and effortlessly. Old catheters can scrape and cut, causing pain and infection. These new catheters from Medical Direct Club are changing the lives of people who use urinary catheters. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these new catheters per month at little or no cost to you. Medical Direct Club handles all of the paperwork with your doctor and includes lifetime free shipping when you join. Membership and a free sample are free, so call Medical Direct Club now. 1-800-600-6144. That's 1-800-600-6144. End painful cathing today. Call 1-800-600-6144.
The holiday concert of the year is returning to Dallas December 6th at American Airlines Center. Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops together again on stage performing holiday classics. Dallas's newest holiday tradition will fill American Airlines Center with the holiday spirit. Sunday, December 6th, Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops at American Airlines Center. Tickets on sale now online at Ticketmaster.com by calling 800-745-3000 or at the American Airlines Center box office.
Are you concerned that there's another bear market coming? As unpredictable as the markets can be, if you're retired or retiring, you don't have time to make up for major losses. You should have a safety plan or an exit strategy in place. This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
Choose August 19th Rockwall, August 20th Alliance Airport, or August 22nd in Plano. Clients that followed Ken's advice were out of the market in 2008. Registered now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. And who won the debate last night? Who lost? Who made up the most ground? Are we going to see the same 10 on the main stage next time? No, you're not. You're not going to by a long shot. But who did well and who did not? 866-660-5759. Abby in Addison, Texas. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
I just wanted to say last night I thought the final debate was very well handled and very well moderated. I thought they asked some very good questions. And overall, Ben Carson, I thought, did very well. I just really appreciate his character.
I do too. I think he's just right on the button. He is so good. He's so smart. And he really made it fly. And you know, like many people have said, he is not the smoothest politician in the world, but then again, he doesn't have to be. You know, what he has to be is be a real guy. And
an authentic person, exactly. And that's the thing. He doesn't, I don't think, parade himself as, overly intellectual. He's just humble enough to, admit that there are some things he's learning, and he's willing to teach himself to do so. And I don't know. I feel like a person who doesn't have that kind of bravado is a very valuable, person to have as a leader.
I agree. 866-660-5759. You're listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer. So the thing is this. Speaking of people that just rear back and let it fly, Donald Trump was the subject of the first question of the first debate, or the second debate, the main stage debate at the primetime affair. And he was under the gun from the get-go, and he got a few policy statements in, and most of it was vintage Donald Trump. The Washington Examiner says the first Republican presidential debate on Thursday opened up with a bang and never let up. Fox News' Brett Baer began the face-off by asking the 10 contestants on stage to raise their hand if they could not pledge to support the eventual 2016 nominee. New York businessman and entertainer Donald Trump was the only one to do so. He got booed, and then he started talking, and the end was people booing and people cheering. Interesting. Interesting. Rand Paul jumped in right off the bat. This is what's wrong when Donald Trump was talking about how he expected to win the nomination but didn't want to give up the political leverage of being able to run as an independent. And then, of course, Rand Paul said that's what's wrong. He is perhaps a stalking horse for presumptive Democrat presidential nominee Hillary Clinton. Hey, look, he's already hedging his bets on the Clintons, okay? So if he doesn't run as a Republican, maybe he supports Clinton, maybe he runs as an independent. Well, let me explain a couple things here. I believe that Donald Trump does not agree with what's been going on in Washington for the last 6 years. I believe that Donald Trump is doing the Republican Party a gigantic favor by lending his star power, his willingness for people to tune in to see what he's going to talk about. And I believe that it happened in droves. In fact, I think that was the best ratings for a presidential debate ever. And they could have done better by opening it up to more people. 866-660-5759. Who do you think won? Who do you think lost? I believe that the people of the United States won. And I believe that the Republican Party also won, even though they could have done a better job. John said it best. What we need is we need 2 6-person debates and 1 5-person debate. That would have been perfect. Do them on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Makes absolutely no difference. Draw them by lots. That's what they should have done. I would have loved that, especially in hindsight. Look at how good that debate was last night. In the early debate, Carly Fiorina absolutely shined. She was right on time. She was focused. She knew exactly what to say at exactly the right moment. She offered a strong rejoinder when asked about the rise of Donald Trump. It was the line of the night in the first debate. She goes, I didn't get a phone call from Bill Clinton before I jumped into the race. Did any of you? She referred to her colleagues. No. And that was a statement that was truly good. So why is it that Donald Trump got a call from Bill Clinton and then suddenly decided to run for office? Why is that? That's a good one. She highlighted Trump's shifting policy positions on immigration, abortion, and health care. I would just ask, what are the principles on which he would govern? Perfect answer. Perfect question, perfectly stated. Fiorina delivered a blistering attack on Hillary Clinton, showed knowledge and polish when discussing issues, from the philosophical distinction between conservatism and progressivism to the proper reaction to the rise of the Islamic State and the prospect of a nuclear Iran. In the early debate, nobody else had major gaffes. They didn't do anything particularly to improve. Rick Perry had a forceful argument on why he could secure the U.S. border with Mexico, an attempt to tout his bona fides on the issue of immigration. Bobby Jindal was superb last night. And I got to be honest with you, I expect that those two governors will make it to the first debate. And Carly Fiorina better make it to the first debate, to the big debate. Because it sounded very strange. It sounded very strange for the Fox moderating crew to sit there in front of that group of people and say, gentlemen, welcome to the debate. It should have been, lady and gentlemen, candidates, because Carly Fiorina should have been there. Just saying. 866-660-5759. Who do you think did the best? The Washington Post says it this way. It's going to be interesting to see what the TV ratings are for last night's presidential primary. It started out with enormous intensity and then sort of mellowed out to a very good discussion. We can see one potential point to reinforce that things sort of flattened out a little bit. The most Googled candidate in the debate at any point was Ted Cruz, with 67% more searches at his peak than the next most searched candidate's peak. It's hard to see the sustained interest over the course of the 2 hours of the graph, but we can see some sense of what was going on. The search volume is all relative to each other. A 100 is the Cruz peak, is the most search in a minute for a candidate. 24 million viewers, highest of all time, right? Yeah, highest of all time. Let's see. On average, Trump held the most sustained search interest. Surprise, surprise. Ben Carson maintained steady interest, followed by Cruz and Marco Rubio. Good. Texas Tribune reports it this way. If there's one thing Ted Cruz relishes, it's confrontation. And he's right. But in the first outing on the presidential debate stage, the Texas senator found himself far away from the center of the action, largely above the fray, while a handful of foes brawled in its made-for-TV moments. It was not entirely a surprise. Cruz has sworn off what he calls Republican-on-Republican violence, but he offered the clearest example yet of his approach to a fractured GOP field led by unpredictable billionaire Donald Trump. While Trump lobbed insults at candidates and moderators, Cruz managed to duck the rancor and convey his central pitch to the Republican primary voters with little difficulty. Quote, we see lots of campaign conservatives, but if we're going to win in 2016, we need a consistent conservative. He had one last chance to drive home his anti-establishment appeal, and he's got it. Asked earlier in the debate about his polarizing reputation in Washington, D.C., he made no apology. Quote, if you're looking for someone to go to Washington and go along to get along, to agree with the career politicians in both parties who are in bed with lobbyists of special interests, then I'm not your guy, said Ted Cruz. I have to say that I was, again, very, very happy that every candidate jumped into the fray and did very well. This was a great way of putting the Republican Party into high gear right at the beginning of the race. And yes, retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson was very, very good. He blasted those he said were trying to turn the United States into the divided states of America on the basis of race during his first GOP presidential debate Thursday. When Fox News moderator Megyn Kelly asked about the racial divisions in the country, Carson said, people are not defined by their skin and hair, but rather their mind. Here was the question. It was beautiful. Dr. Carson, question to you about God and his role, but about one of those issues the public was very interested in. And we talked about it earlier, is race relations in this country and how divided we seem right now. And what, if anything, you can do, you would do as next president to heal that divide. Carson said this. Well, I think the bully pulpit is a wonderful place to start healing that divide. You know, we have those purveyors of hate who take every single incident between people of two races and try to make it a race war and drive wedges into people. This does not need to be done. Then he said this. I was asked by an NPR reporter once why I don't talk about race that often. I said, because I'm a neurosurgeon. And I paused for a minute and went, what? He said, I said when I take someone into an operating room, I'm actually operating on the thing that makes them who they are. The skin doesn't make them who they are. The hair doesn't make them who they are. It's time for us to move beyond that because, you know, our strength as a nation comes in our unity. Absolutely. Carson went on to say we are the United States of America, not the divided states of America who want to destroy us and are trying to divide us. We shouldn't let them do it. He is absolutely, completely correct. Absolutely, completely correct. So he definitely did himself some good. Let's see. The GOP primary debate, 5 takeaways. Donald Trump eased back and let his opponents throw the punches as the debate proved wildly wildly entertaining as the real estate tycoon came out swimming with his trademark flair. He declined to endorse the GOP nominee if it's not him. He refused to rule out an independent run. He insulted Fox News moderator Megyn Kelly. He made fun of Rosie O'Donnell. He refused to walk back his inflammatory statements on the undocumented. He shrugged, he smirked, and as the cheering crowd underscored, he proved he's not going anywhere. Rand Paul gave a little bit of an eye roll to Chris Christie. In a heated exchange with New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, the Kentucky senator was caught on camera rolling his eyes when Christie mentioned hugging families of 9/11 victims. Now, normally that would be an act of epic insensibility or insensitivity, but once again, that would be out of context. You see, Christie made a mistake in that. He started talking about how you've got to set aside the sillinesses of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution regarding get a warrant. Rand Paul says get a warrant. In every example that Chris Christie brought up in the discussion about he, as a U.S. attorney, getting what was necessary from a standpoint of proper writs and proper warrants and so on and so on. Rand Paul said, you had to get a warrant in each one of those, and he did. And then he said, hey, and I remember you hugging the president, to which Christie responded, hey, the hugs I remember were the ones with the families who were lost. Well, Governor Christie, with all due respect, my friend, you got to respect the laws, the constitutional standards of the United States of America. And what you don't get to do is you don't get to just go out there and run through somebody's house without a warrant just because you're sure you're right. I think Rand Paul really did himself some good with that sentence, and I really think he absolutely injured Chris Christie. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
For almost 2 decades, financial advisor and educator Rick Poston with Empowered Wealth Financial Services has provided peace of mind to thousands who see or hear him in the media or read his work. Rick has been chosen by Bloomberg Business Week magazine as one of the top 20 game-changing financial advisors in the country. A fan of Rick's profound teaching, Brian Tracy, world-renowned business leader, speaker, and best-selling author, has asked Rick to co-author his newest book entitled The Winning Way, where Rick will share with his fans some of the principles that allow Rick's clients to continue on their winning way. If you're looking to break away from that same old investment plan that has provided you with one too many disappointments, stay tuned to 660 AM The Answer every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock for the most educational hour on financial talk radio with Empowered Wealth Radio, live. Or call 469-361-4020.
When the economy crashed in 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates. They've been low ever since. But now the economy's improving, and most experts believe the Fed will start raising interest rates very soon. That means you should refinance your mortgage now to pull cash out of your home at today's low rates, because once the Fed starts raising rates, they probably won't stop. So beat the Fed to the punch and refi your mortgage before it's too late by making the cash call at 855-875-CASH. Today, Cash Call Mortgage is offering a 15-year fix at 2.99% rate and APR with no closing costs. You have the chance to pull tens of thousands out of your home, lock in a low rate, and pay absolutely nothing out of pocket. But you have to act now. Cash Call Mortgage is designed to save. Call 855-875-CASH today.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
That's 855-875-CASH.
Let's make an offer on that Aspen Street house.
That one doesn't have a home warranty.
Is that a problem?
Not if you like paying through the nose on home system breakdowns.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like if the air conditioner quits, want to pay for a new one? Do you know how to fix the water heater, the plumbing?
Got it. Let's only look at places with home warranties.
A home warranty from American Home Shield protects homeowners against unexpected covered repairs and breakdowns of major home systems and appliances. Who would want to move into a new home without one? Just ask your local real estate professional. Or for complimentary, helpful information about a home warranty from American Home Shield, call now at 1-800-771-2898. Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade call. Some exclusions and limitations apply. An American Home Shield home warranty instantly gives home buyers confidence in their purchase. For complimentary, helpful information, including terms, rates, and coverage, call 1-800-771-2898. 1-800-771-2898.
Hi, I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Our motto is to do the right thing. In some respects, it's hard being the company that always does the right thing. But for our customers' sake, it's very important that we do. Being fully insured, as an example, costs us a lot of money, but it protects our customers. Having employees instead of day laborers is a huge responsibility, but our dedicated employees ensure that we do the best repairs we can. Managing a large office staff can be tedious, but they provide our customers a helpful voice when they need something urgent. Returning every phone call is time-consuming, but instills our customers with confidence that we will always be there when they need us. The Aggie Code of Honor states that Aggies don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those that do. That code was the principle our company was founded on, and it guides our daily operations. If this sounds like the kind of company you could trust to repair your foundation, call us today for a free evaluation at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
Geico applauds your inner happy camper.
A merit badge of awesomeness goes out to the part of you that wants to put the recreation in recreational vehicle. The part of you that packs up everything and everybody in the RV and says, let's get this show on the road. Because Geico has specialized agents who help save money on more than just car insurance. Geico will insure that entire RV, so you can get the s'more making, poison ivy dodging, same song singing, ghost storytelling, campfire building, best time you ever had with your family show on the road.
Geico for your RV. See how much you could save.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local radio and TV broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information on your radio, TV, computer, tablet, and smartphone. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Tell Washington local stations matter by texting radio to 52886. Furnished by NAB and the station. Message and data rates may apply.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report, must-hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. And so they're off and they're running, and I believe they've done a great job. I am very impressed with the Republican field of presidential candidates. We heard a lot of very good things. I think some will slowly move away. I think some will fall aside. And that will be sad because these are very talented people. And what they are going to do, what they're doing is lending their brilliance to this effort. And it's worth every second that they do. I am very, very impressed and hoping for what will be a successful continuance of this debate season and a very important discussion of the issues of the day from both sides of the political spectrum. By the way, in case you're wondering, the Democrats have agreed to a schedule of debates themselves. The first debate for the Democrat Party 2016 presidential contenders will take place October 30th, make that October 13th in Nevada. Will be hosted by CNN, the Democrat National Committee announced yesterday. That was just hours before the Republican hopefuls faced off on the stage for the first time in Cleveland. The announcement ends weeks of speculation about the schedule, but it's unlikely to stop the grumbling from some Democrat White House aspirants. It took just minutes for one campaign to blast out a press release expressing irritation. You think you're irritated now? Wait until all the socialists in the world, disguised as Democrats, are exposed by their own words at their own hand. All we have to do is wait till October 13th. This is the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity believes the establishment GOP is the reason why Donald Trump has risen in the polls.
That's what this has become, a weak and timid and visionless Washington Republican establishment. And it's now hit a tipping point. Dovetails perfectly into an analysis of why you see the meteoric rise of Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Glines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type of dangerous, invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at mylowback.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOScell.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you've come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. But best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOScell.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com. EOScell.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. James Holmes, the man convicted of the 2012 Colorado movie theater massacre, will live out the rest of his life in prison.
The lead defense attorney in the sentencing phase for James Holmes bent over her desk, pushed her hands against the wood below, and hung her head. Relief. That was the only visible reaction from Holmes's defense table. He simply stared straight ahead with his hands in his pockets. The jury said they were not unanimous on the penalty for each of the 12 murdered.
And we, the jury, understand that as a result, the court will impose a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole on discount.
Fox News Radio's Jessica Rosenthal reporting. Health officials in New York City think the worst may be over after an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease kills 10 and sickens 100.
We have identified cooling towers that tested positive for this bacteria. They have been cleaned.
Health Commissioner Dr. Mary Bassett, Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells, here for my friend Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. I've had the very good fortune of getting to know Walt and all the people at InvestingMakesMeSick.com. I've known them for several years, and believe me, these people are people you want to get to know. Walt, everybody seems to want to offer the same old stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. Tell us what's the difference with what you do.
What we do is educate people and let them know that there is more to investing than the same old, same old. We're in exciting times right now with alternative investment opportunities that can give our clients control over their future.
This is why getting help making a decision about your investment planning is so very important. Walt and his team offer We Come to You service and appointment times that work for you. To schedule one of those, an appointment call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or check out their all-new website at investingmakesmesick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
United. 94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome a Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
Hi, folks. Alan Thicke here. You know, some things in life are just too serious to take chances on, and owing money to the IRS is definitely one of those. The IRS has the power to garnish your paycheck. They can levy your bank account, even take your home or business. Seriously. Thankfully, with one simple call, you can start solving your tax debt once and for all. Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm in the nation. They have over 250 professionals. They have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and the trust of thousands of satisfied clients. Optima's attorneys can immediately protect you from aggressive collections because they are experts in the Fresh Start Initiative. That's a special IRS debt forgiveness program that could save you thousands. Don't wait till it's too late. Get serious. Call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's August. It is by far the hottest month of the year in Texas. Now, the question here is, what are you going to do about it? Hi, Dave Trainer from the Window Connection. August can be really, really tough on all of us. Do you know there's an affordable solution to that problem? It's replacement windows. Pulling out the metal and glass that are conducting heat right through to the house and putting in something vinyl that has lower conductivity and real heat reflective capabilities. What all of us need is to just be a little bit more comfortable, and you can have that with the quality replacement window. Hi, I'm Dave Trainer of the Window Connection. I would sure welcome the opportunity to come visit with you, have a look at your house, see if there's anything special that I could recommend that might help you get through this tough month of August.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, and thank you for being a part of this broadcast. I think we made a mistake today. Not we specifically, we as citizens of this land. We made a mistake today, and I want to know if you agree, yes or no, and why. In a surprising decision, a Colorado jury sentenced James Holmes to life in prison with no chance of parole rejecting the death penalty for the man who carried out a 2012 shooting rampage that killed 12 people in a Colorado movie theater. As the courtroom waited for Judge Carlos Seymour Jr. to review the verdict, the only sound of him turning pages was heard. Minutes later, he read each sentence of life, noting the jurors were unable to reach a unanimous verdict on any of the counts against Mr. Holmes, sending him to prison for life without parole. If even one person dissented, the sentence was life in prison. Mr. Holmes offered little emotion, standing before the judge with his hands in his pockets. Since Mr. Holmes was convicted last month of more than 160 counts of murder and attempted murder, his lawyers and prosecutors have been putting questions of his fate before a jury of 9 women and 3 men. Prosecutors, emphasizing the human toll and indiscriminate cruelty of opening fire on a happy crowd of moviegoers, argued that he should join the 3 other men on Colorado's death row. They argued that toll he exacted was so great and the indiscriminate rampage so horrible that death by lethal injection was the only just punishment. Defense lawyers said it was not hatred or a desire for notoriety that propelled Mr. Holmes to plot and carry out the massacre, but a deepening form of schizophrenia that infected his mind with powerful delusions that killing people somehow increased his human capital. Jurors deliberated for less than a day before reaching their conclusion. They had walked to the precipice of sending Mr. Holmes to death, agreeing earlier that he was eligible to receive the death penalty. But defense lawyers emphasized that jurors had no legal obligation to sentence him to death, and they urged jurors to listen to their own moral compass, no matter what the other jurors wanted. 2 court-appointed psychiatrists who examined Mr. Holmes and who testified for prosecutors during the guilt phase of the trial concluded he was mentally ill, but was able to know his actions were wrong when he strode into Theater 9 in suburban Aurora just after midnight, July 20th, 2012. So, I believe that was a sincere and regrettable or a mistake that we will soon regret. We can't mess with people like this. We cannot mess with people like this in this context. We live a life in the post 9/11 world. Those who practice terrorism essentially inspired by what they believe Islam calls them to do, pull off attacks just like this, whether it's on a beach or whether it's some other gathering of people who are defenseless. Magazine publishing office. These people do that. And those people that do crimes like that must be treated very harshly, just as those jihadists would be under similar circumstances. There cannot be any kind of cogent argument that says if you appear before a group of defenseless people and kill them, that there is anything except death waiting on the other side of the trial. That's what we should have transmitted today. I have a very skeptical ideology when it comes to innocence by insanity. It is a very high bar to get me to believe that someone was so nuts that that's what caused them to do what they did. I'm not saying it doesn't actually happen. I'm not. I'm just saying that it has got to be completely and totally obvious to everyone, and this is not the case. He may have been mentally ill, but he was also incredibly, relentlessly, ruthlessly evil and dangerous. The whole reason for a death penalty in a society is to completely and permanently rid yourself of someone who murders people. And that's what should have happened here. Do you agree or disagree? 866-660-5759. The defense may have saved the life of James Holmes, but to what end? Do you believe that this life in prison without parole, saving the man's life, in other words, do you believe that this is going to be encouraging or discouraging to somebody who wants to try something very similar? To me, it has to be encouraging. Especially if you're one of those Islamic extremists that pervert Islam into an apocalyptic death cult that requires that you go out, practice jihad, and kill someone or someones. There can be no ambiguity as to what's going to happen after that kind of attack. These people are going to be heartened by this. Think about it for just a minute. So, on one hand, they go and they kill a bunch of people and they become jihadi heroes. Then if they can somehow figure out how to get into prison for life without the possibility of parole, then they have the opportunity to proselytize Islam, their perverted apocalyptic version of Islam, and send those soldiers out into the world. And that's exactly what's going to happen. This kind of foolishness only encourages this. Do you agree? 866-660-5759. I can't see any other possible outcome. I can't. And we're going to rue the day that this particular jury decided this way. Now, I didn't hear the jury instructions. But I can tell you that people who walk into a place where people are defenseless and start killing people need to be incredibly harshly punished. Incredibly. It needs to be swift. And what we've done is we've proven yet again that we, the people of the United States of America, can be had. I mean, the next time some radical Islamist jihadi shows up and kills a bunch of people, do you think that their civilian paid-for defense won't be bringing up James Holmes? Of course they will be. And if indeed this jihadi is then sentenced to death, what's the next thing that's going to come out of their mouth? Go ahead. You know what it is. That's right. Another murder based on Islamophobia perpetrated by the great Satan. Because all they are, people of the United States of America, all they are bigoted, anti-Islamic thugs. And that's what happens when you allow, I guess, and to a degree, I don't know how many of these jurors are practicing dope users, but I suspect there are a couple. You have to be smarter than how high you are when you're on a jury. This is bad. What Colorado has done is they have guaranteed that they will have more attacks like this. That's what they have guaranteed for themselves. What I'm trying to figure out is how many more of us are going to be taken by these murderous killers because of this decision. What are the civil ramifications of this? Can the victims sue Cinemark of Denver? They dang well better. It's terrible. This is a huge mistake. This is why I am a huge proponent of Guantanamo Bay and military tribunals for all of those jerks that practice jihad against the United States. All of them. And this president is absolutely willing to put these evil actors into the civilian court system. This is what you get when you use the civilian court system. I'm sure the judge's instructions included, don't let the context of the situation sway your decision one way or another. Well, how could it not? The answer is it will be a massive problem moving forward. Eight 660-5759. What are your thoughts? Do you see where I'm getting at here? Do you see what I'm trying to get across? I don't want somebody who is not guilty of heinous crime to be sentenced to death and then put to death. I am not interested in that happening. Absolutely not. But what we have to do here is we have to use our brains. We have to use our brains, and we have to use our laws, and we have to be willing to make tough calls, tough decisions. And putting this man to death, regardless of his mental anguish or mental difficulties, that would send a very serious and unmistakable message, which we should have sent, in my view. This is the Wells Report.
How will the future affect the money decisions you make now? Find out Saturday morning with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell on Smart Money. Smart Money will bring you the latest information regarding financial markets and what it means to you and your investment and retirement portfolio. Not knowing could be costly. Smart Money, a voice of experience and integrity, with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell. Tomorrow morning at 8 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Debt Relief Advocates now. 1-800-500-8980. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Debt Relief Advocates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible, without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-500-8980. That's 1-800-500-8980. 1-800-500-8980.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
I'm a mother. When my kids were growing up, I can't tell you how many times they had a cold, an ear, or sinus infection. I already knew it was the same thing one of the other kids had 3 months before. Could I get a doctor to call me at home? No, I had to take off work, or worse, bundle all the other kids and go to the doctor's office. Well, not anymore. RealMedSavings.com is like a discount club for healthcare. At RealMedSavings.com, you just call the 800 number and a board-certified doctor calls you back in about 15 minutes, talks to you about what it is, and then calls in a prescription if it's needed. You pay nothing for this doctor's call because you're a member of the club. RealMedSavings.com is not insurance, just real savings on everyday medical problems for your whole family. Go to RealMedSavings.com. Save money and time. RealMedSavings.com. It's worth going there.
There was a lot to love about your timeshare. Now that it's time to get out, there's a lot to love about ResortRelease.com. ResortRelease.com helps timeshare owners terminate their contracts and end all future payments guaranteed. If you've tried to sell your timeshare, you know how impossible it can feel. But our 100% guarantee lets you legally and permanently walk away or you pay nothing. Resort Release holds a Better Business Bureau A+ rating. We're the only timeshare cancellation company in the nation with their prestigious accreditation. 2016's maintenance fees are on the way. Talk to one of ResortRelease.com's expert asset managers before that bill arrives. 800-281-9595. That's 800-281-9595. Experience ResortRelease.com's easy cancellation process and free yourself from the burden of that timeshare. Call 800-281-9595 or visit ResortRelease.com.
Okay, you're on. We're here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
The holiday concert of the year is returning to Dallas December 6th at American Airlines Center. Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops together again on stage performing holiday classics. Dallas's newest holiday tradition will fill American Airlines Center with the holiday spirit. Sunday, December 6th, Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops at American Airlines Center. Tickets on sale now online at Ticketmaster.com by calling 800-745-3000 or at the American Airlines Center box office.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. I believe the jury in the Colorado theater shooting case with James Holmes made a mistake. They let that man off the hook. He's going to serve life without the possibility of parole, and that is a mistake. We, the people of the United States, must universally reject heinous acts of ultra-violence. Standing in front of a crowded theater and opening up with rifles and pistols and so on and so forth, just killing the innocents. This is a mistake. There will be more shootings because of this. That's the way I see it. How about you? Let me get to Isaac in Dallas. Isaac, thanks very much for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Howdy. Yeah, I just wanted to talk subversively about the way Muslims are treated in America. They're treated better than they treat themselves and are treated by other Muslims in many other countries.
Absolutely.
In the world.
Yes.
This concept of disenfranchisement causing terrorism, poverty causing terrorism.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, they're one American jobs program away from abandoning terror. Wrong.
I'm poor. I'd like to go and kill some people now.
Yeah, sure.
Really been. So this poverty, if you look at attacks like the suicide attack in Kabul, it disrupts the economy over there and it messes with the stock market. These people are the cause of poverty. These people are the cause of mayhem and destruction in their own country. And in Muslim-majority countries, that is the only place where they don't feel disenfranchised. When they do feel disenfranchised, it's anywhere where civil liberties, civil rights, human rights are enforced, and they're not allowed to live under this set of complex rules that they would like to live under, this set of rules of Sharia, 4 witnesses for rape, this cutting hand off nonsense. This disenfranchisement is because of their own beliefs. No one's disenfranchising them besides themselves.
Exactly. You've got it. You've absolutely solved the code. You're exactly right. This is self-inflicted, self-generated outrage, and it's pointless. And if they would just relax, calm down, and realize that human beings never had it so good than life in the United States. Why screw it up? Why change it? If you want to live under Sharia law, go home. Okay, we respect your wish to live under Sharia law. Bye-bye. Seriously, go home. That's not what you find here. You don't get to change our country to fit your belief system. It was Bobby Jindal that said this yesterday, and it was brilliant. Immigration without assimilation is invasion. It's time for us to throw that off right this minute. If you want to come here and live as Americans and be American and so on, do it. It's fun. Being an American is fun. It's just absolutely wonderful. But if that is not your aim, go home. Don in Waxahachie, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. Hey, on the comment about this James Holmes,
yeah,
I think our younger generations have been desensitized. I think public executions, they should hang that sucker from the court yard.
Yeah, you know, there's a Clint Eastwood movie out there called Hang 'em High.
Exactly.
And that movie really captured what it was like for a multiple hanging to occur. And I don't know that I want to live in a society where that happens. You know, I don't. As a matter of fact, I know I don't. I believe that society should benevolently rid itself of those monsters who would seek to commit crimes of this nature in a dignified, as painless as possible way, and do it in private. Someone's death at the hands of the state should be a private affair with reasonable coverage for, you know, the sake of First Amendment rights, et cetera, et cetera. That's the way we need to do it. And we need to realize that we have to stop these people cold. And we didn't do it today. And that was a mistake. This is the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity believes the establishment GOP is the reason why Donald Trump has risen in the polls.
That's what this has become, a weak and timid and visionless Washington Republican establishment. And it's now hit a tipping point. This dovetails perfectly into an analysis of why you see the meteoric rise of Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
For almost 2 decades, financial advisor and educator Rick Poston with Empowered Wealth Financial Services has provided peace of mind to thousands who see or hear him in the media or read his work. Rick has been chosen by Bloomberg Business Week magazine as one of the top 20 game-changing financial advisors in the country. A fan of Rick's profound teaching, Brian Tracy, world-renowned business leader, speaker, and best-selling author, has asked Rick to co-author his newest book entitled The Winning Way, where Rick will share with his fans some of the principles that allow Rick's clients to continue on their winning way. If you are looking to break away from that same old investment plan that has provided you with one too many disappointments, stay tuned to 660 AM The Answer every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock for the most educational hour on financial talk radio with Empowered Wealth Radio, live. Or call 469-361-4020.
We're speaking with Craig Powers, president of Power Jack Foundation Repair. And Craig, look, there's that big yellow thing in the sky.
That's right, Steve. You know, it looks like the sun is out and we're finally in for one of our hot Texas summers. You know, I have customers calling me all the time saying, Craig, what do I do now after all these rains? And I tell them, get your foundation inspected now. As the soils dry out, foundations are going to start to move again. You want to catch it now before the problem gets worse, because now it will be less expensive and less extensive to fix the problem.
So, Craig, are you you saying that as the heat continues and the ground dries out, that your foundation problems, if you have any, they could get worse and worse?
Yes, that's correct. I wish I had a magic pill to make foundations stop moving, but unfortunately I don't. So now is the time to get it checked.
So give Craig a call today. Check it out before it becomes a bigger problem. Power Jack Foundation Repair, all of their work is guaranteed for the life of your home. Give them a call today, 866-638-PJFR. That's 866-638-7537, or go to pjfr.com.
When the economy crashed in 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates. They've been low ever since. But now the economy's improving, and most experts believe the Fed will start raising interest rates very soon. That means you should refinance your mortgage now to pull cash out of your home at today's low rates, because once the Fed starts raising rates, they probably won't stop. So beat the Fed to the punch and refi your mortgage before it's too late by making the cash call at 855-875-CASH. Today, Cash Call Mortgage is offering a 15-year fix at 2.99% rate and APR with no closing costs. You have the chance to pull tens of thousands out of your home, lock in a low rate, and pay absolutely nothing out of pocket, but you have to act now. Cash Call Mortgage is designed to save. Call 855-875-CASH today.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
That's 855-875-CASH.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called Joel Clark, one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents.
Hi, Mr. Tullis.
Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance?
Well, buying term life insurance is all about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. We'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best price.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I just got a man, 40 years old, on cholesterol medication, a $500,000 policy with a highly rated insurance company. His price, under $25 a month.
Call 1-800-919-8949 and see how affordable term life insurance can be. That's 1-800-919-8949. 1-800-919-8949. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Lads, clearing out weeds is all about give and take. Hello, this is Scott for Scots. And what I mean is, you want to take those pesky weeds out, but to keep them out, you need to give your grass something in return, which is exactly what Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed does. It kills weeds while it feeds in thick and dure grass to help crowd out future invasions. To learn more about Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, go to scotts.com. Weed your lawn and feed it.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. This is a great piece of music. In the Stone by Earth, Wind & Fire. 660 AM, The Answer. Thanks for joining us. There. Still hit the post. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. This is The Wells Report. I'm upset with the President of the United States. And I'm wondering if you are as well. It was 2 days ago the president spoke for nearly an hour at the American University to drum up support for the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the Iran nuclear deal, with Iran regarding its nuclear weapons program. The speech was long, and it was typical Obama, where the president of the United States threw out hunks of disdain at his political enemies. The president said that this is the strongest non-proliferation agreement ever negotiated, which is complete and total crap. The START Treaty, the SALT Treaty, the SALT II Treaty, all of those. The world was literally in the balance between two nuclear superpowers. This is a president of the United States doing his dead level best to usurp gravity that is absolutely unwarranted and certainly unearned. Thankfully unearned, by the way. Sure, it's a problem when Iran is thinking about moving towards a nuclear weapon. Absolutely. But it is not as big a problem as two superpowers staring each other down from one side of the earth to the other with thousands of nuclear weapons on razor-thin alert pointed at each other's cities, unending, constant stare-downs for decades. The strongest non-proliferation agreement ever negotiated, garbage. And because it's such a strong deal, said the president, every nation that has commented publicly, with the exception of the Israeli government, has expressed support. That is absolutely irrelevant. Because the absolute problem for this agreement is Israel. We made an agreement with a country whose stated policy is to wipe Israel off the map. Kill all the Jews. So the president of the United States goes on and goes on and goes on and actually punctuates the outrageous parts of his speech with something that was completely and totally inappropriate, inflammatory, and absurd. Just because Iranian hardliners chants death to America does not mean that's all that Iranians believe. In fact, it's those hardliners who are most comfortable with the status quo. It's those hardliners chanting death to America who have been most opposed to the deal. They're making common cause with the Republican caucus. He was immediately excoriated for the remark by just about everybody, including Democrats. And he was, or should have been, compelled to apologize. But today, no, he doubled down. Because that's what he does. When he makes a stupid, ridiculous, idiotic mistake, he doubles down on it, and people say, well, all right, what are you going to do? You can't get this guy to confront reality at any level. Now, the analysts who look at this from a political standpoint say that this is actually a very good idea, because what it does is it, in its vilification of Republicans, distracts from the weaknesses of the actual agreement. The pathological weaknesses, in fact. What you do is you pillory the members of the loyal opposition, and at the same time distract from the fact that this is an agreement no one can vote for who has half a brain in his head. There was somebody who said on Daily Cause, it was a blogger who said, again, it would be nice if we had a president who didn't talk about his Iran deal like he was a Daily Cause blogger. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. In Iran, the people inside the system who are negotiating a deal, such as Foreign Minister Javad Zarif, must take the agreement to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, for approval. In Iran, the hardliners approve the deal. In the U.S. system, it's the other way around. Senators like Marco Rubio, Tom Cotton, Ted Cruz support amendments that would set new conditions before lifting congressional sanctions on Iran. But there are not enough votes in the Senate to overturn an Obama veto on the legislation if these amendments are attached. In other words, President Obama frames the conversation in the U.S. because he has the power to ignore his hardliners, whereas Zarif is obligated to placate his. Further, the President of the United States does not have to worry about whether or not he can win the day with a good deal, well explained and well received by we, the people of the United States. All he has to do is be able to fend off enough no votes so that his veto won't be sustained. That is not rule in a democracy. That is not the way it's done. And the president doesn't care. Democrats are picking up the fight, the people willing to fight for the president, picking up the fight against Republican amendments. Call them poison pills. They're aimed at making a deal with Iran impossible. No. Who's making the deal with Iran impossible are IAEA negotiators who have negotiated side deals, 2 that we are aware of, probably more, that Americans are forbidden to see. And thus, in being forbidden to see these agreements, they're being asked to approve them anyway. The President of the United States is so far out of line on this that people will just basically shrug their shoulders, shake their head, and walk away. But the president is running out of opportunities to salvage anything out of his presidency except, gosh, I am so glad that guy's gone. At some point, even the President of the United States can become a blowhard with no credibility. And that's where this president is headed, if he hasn't already succeeded in getting there. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell called on President Obama to retract a statement he made, saying members of Congress who opposed the Iran nuke deal had something in common with Iranians who chanted death to Americans in the streets of Iran. Obama made the comments in a speech at American University. McConnell called the comments bizarre and preposterous. He added that supporters and defenders of the proposed deal should reject the president's offensive, abusive rhetoric. Members of both parties have serious and heartfelt concerns about the Iran deal. These Democrats and Republicans deserved serious answers today, not some outrageous attempt to equate their search for answers with supporting chants of death to America. Senator Kelly Ayotte, she is the Republican from New Hampshire, said, I think it's beneath the office to be able to make these analogies. It is beneath the office. But the president, again, does not care. The White House is preparing for the likelihood that lawmakers will vote against the bill next month. They are focusing their lobbying efforts on getting enough Democrats to sustain a presidential veto. That got more complicated yesterday as New York Senator Chuck Schumer said that he was not going to support the agreement. Good. Good. He should not support the agreement. The agreement will get a bunch of people killed. Obama needs 146 Democrats in the House of Representatives to sustain his veto. He needs 34 in the Senate. As of yesterday afternoon, or actually Wednesday afternoon, 16 House Democrats and 11 senators had already publicly declared their support for the bill. I don't know why. Everybody that votes to sustain this treaty needs to be out of public office. They need to be out of public office because they don't get it. Badly. They don't get it badly. They do not understand that this is a pig in a poke times 2, and that if indeed the Congress of the United States agrees to it, they will become parties to it, parties to something they don't know anything about. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being responsible at any level for something that happened in an agreement or after an agreement was struck with the country of Iran? They don't do what they say they're going to do. They don't. And they're not going to this time. They're just going to keep moving along, one step at a time, getting closer, ever closer to a nuclear weapon that they can use on Israel. Israel is getting closer at every moment to a preemptive strike that will keep the Iranians from using those nuclear weapons that they build. And so here we are. Here we are. Listening to this president abuse us because we can see the forest for the trees. We can read the handwriting on the wall. We can see the disastrous nature of this entire enterprise. I'm sure he can too. But here's a guy who is so focused on himself. He's willing to bet the lives and the life of Israel on it. Whoa. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being so cocksure at anything that you would bet the lives of millions of people? Not just people, the chosen people. Can you imagine being willing to do that? Because you just know better, because you're just that sophisticated, that suave, that brilliant, that far-seeing. He says, gosh, you know what? If we don't pass this bill, we don't pass this treaty, we don't agree to it, it will harm U.S. credibility. No, it won't. It will harm President Obama's credibility, as if it could possibly be harmed worse. It is incredible that we would find ourselves in this position. What will happen next? I don't want to hazard a guess. And you don't want to hear the guess that I would hazard. All I can say is, man, it's going to be a really long, cold winter. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
Hi, this is Jamie Wooldridge of Berkey's Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical Services, now in our 40th year serving Metroplex homeowners. If you are like most people, Your home is your biggest investment. Having every system in your home properly maintained so they all operate safely and efficiently is not only important, but helps keep your home's resale value high. Your air conditioning system is operating as it should, your plumbing always works, and your electrical system has been inspected. That's peace of mind. Berkey's Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical Services offers you that kind of peace of mind with an innovative plan. For one membership fee, all your systems will be kept in tip-top condition, and you will automatically receive special rewards and discounts. You no longer have to wonder if your air conditioning is really working as it should, or if those flickering lights are telling you there's a problem, or if the plumbing will work when company comes. Call 817-717-3885 and ask about Berkey's Peace of Mind plan, or visit us at berkeys.com. Berkey's, we're there when you need us.
License numbers TACLB 41879E and 38424, TECL 30739.
Howdy, folks. Crazy Gun Dealer here, and I have the craziest deal I've offered yet. I have Smith & Wesson M&P AR-15 5.56 rifles for only $499 with ammo purchase. That's right, $499 for a Smith & Wesson AR-15. That's way below dealer cost. This is in-store only, and you better hurry in before Smith & Wesson shuts me down on this one. And as always, you still get free Texas CHO classes, a free lifetime warranty, free range membership, and free test firing on most handguns. And if that's not enough, if we don't already have the best gun price you've found anywhere, we'll beat any price gun to gun, or we'll give you the gun for free, because nobody wants your gun business more than the Crazy Gun Dealer. That's the Crazy Gun Dealer on Highway 67 in Alvarado. For more info, visit crazygundealer.com. Follow us by texting crazy to 24587 or give us a call at 855-329-4867. That's 855-329-GUNS.
All offers and promotions subject to change or restrictions. See store for complete details.
Call 267-8433 because the next best thing to do is Dalworth Clean.
Hi, Cheryl here for Dalworth Clean. You've been hearing the Dalworth jingle for almost 40 years. And when you hear it, you probably think carpet cleaning. But Dalworth offers so much more. Dalworth can clean and restore every type of flooring in your home, including those beautiful hardwood floors. Most wood floor care products leave a layer of acrylic wax that builds up over time, leaving your floor with a dull, often scruffy appearance. And they no longer clean up like they used to. Dalworth offers a wood floor revitalization process that can remove this buildup and return your floor to its original finish. This week, you can save $100 off 400 square feet or more of wood floor revitalization. So call Dalworth today and find out why it's really true. The next best thing to new is Dalworth Clean. Or visit us at dalworth.com, where you can make your appointment 24/7.
The founder of Lumber Liquidators has returned and is taking us back to basics so you can get the best selection of quality hardwood at the best price. This week, get clearance deals on pre-finished hardwood starting at $129. Hand-scraped Tobacco Road acacia for much less than what you pay elsewhere. More from 59 cents and 18 months financing.
Hi, I'm Tom Sullivan. I started Lumber Liquidators over 20 years ago with the basic idea, cutting out the middleman, just good wood at a good price.
Sales going on now. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
One more thing regarding the president believing that Republicans are in league with ISIS hardliners and Iranian hardliners. ISIS executed 19 girls for refusing to have sex with their fighters as UN envoys revealed how sex slaves are peddled like barrels of gasoline. The women refused to practice sexual jihad, according to a Kurdish official. He claimed that money distribution of women has created a rift within ISIS. ISIS published a price list of captured Yazidi and Christian sex slaves last year. The price for a Yazidi or Christian woman between the ages of 40 and 50 is $43, $75 for 30 to 40-year-olds, $86 for 20 to 30-year-olds, $130 for 10 to 20-year-olds, and $172 for 1 to 9-year-old. So when the Democrats accuse the Republicans of a war against women and then say that they are not going to engage the armies of ISIS, It's time for that hypocrisy to come home to roost and be universally rejected by everyone, regardless of party. This is injurious. It's damaging our nation. And enough is a flippin' enough. Don't you agree? This is the Wells Report.
Dennis Prager believes the left will leave no stone unturned.
How impossible it has become to avoid leftism. There is nothing that is freed from their tentacle. They must intrude everywhere. The arrogance of people on the left is so deep because they know better.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Tell me something. How's your back? Hi, I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC with Genesis Back and Neck, and I want you to know something. There's help out there for you. Do you have pain that runs down your arms or legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc? Then, my friend, you are a candidate for spinal decompression, and I'm telling you, we have seen some remarkable results.
Dr. Chad pretty much saved me. My name is Travis, and part of my job is lifting things every day. With my back problems, that wasn't happening. So I went to see Dr. Chad, and I gotta tell you, spinal decompression is the easiest thing I've ever done. And not only am I lifting things without pain, I feel like I've gotten my life back. I'm telling you, you need to go to Genesis Back and Neck.
That just blesses me to hear that. Spinal decompression is safe. It's FDA cleared. It's not painful, and it has a huge success rate. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Please stop hurting and call me, 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at genesisback.com.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local radio and TV broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information on your radio, TV, computer, tablet, and smartphone. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Tell Washington local stations matter by texting radio to 52886. Furnished by NAB and the station. Message and data rates may apply.
It may be the calm before the storm, but the time to prepare your shelter is before it hits. It's been a while since we've had a stock market crash, so it's no longer an if, but when it will happen. If you're retired or retiring soon and can't afford a loss like in 2008, the time to protect yourself is now. Don't miss the free Money Matters Retirement Seminar, August 19th, Rockwall, August 20th, Alliance Airport, or August 22nd in Plano. Register at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. The Colorado movie theater killer gets life in prison.
Some of the victims sobbed and hung their heads. One man stormed out of the courtroom after the first count was read, that the jury could not reach a unanimous decision, and that means life in prison. James Holmes did not react. His lead defense attorney leaned forward and hung her head. District Attorney George Brockler gave up a plea deal offered by Holmes at the outset of all this, guilt in exchange for the death penalty being taken off of the table. He'd said no.
Fox News Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. San Francisco 49ers linebacker Aldon Smith is out of a job. He was arrested last night and accused of drunken driving, hit and run, and vandalism. Upon release from jail today, he offered fans and the team an apology.
I need to speak, and I want everybody to understand this wasn't a DUI. The situation that happened could have been handled differently. And I apologize for everybody I did let down, and I apologize for how it all played out.
Courtesy Fox affiliate KTVU. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Lieutenant Colonel Alan West will join me on my show this week to talk about Iran and more. And in the second hour, IPI's Tom Giovanetti will tell us about what the recent FCC internet takeover will mean to you. This is Debbie Georgiadis. This week, I'll be at the GOP presidential debate in Cleveland doing political analysis for Fox News Radio. I'll tell you all about it on my show. On Ladies Can We talk truth about America and why it matters to you. Tune in every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. on 660 AM, The Answer.
A non-attorney spokesperson, Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm, with principal office in Houston, Texas, is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisements. Services may not be available in all states. Attention, this is an important announcement for anyone who had surgery to implant a blood clot device. If you or a loved one had a surgery in the past 10 years and your doctor used an IVC filter to trap blood clots, call 800-770-3234 right now. These devices can be life life-threatening, and you may be entitled to cash compensation. The FDA is evaluating adverse events caused by these blood clot devices, which can lead to serious injury and even death. These devices could break and lead to serious injury. Please call 800-770-3234 now. Time is limited. Call 800-770-3234 if you or a loved one has one of these dangerous blood clot devices, as you may be entitled to a cash award and compensation. Our toll-free phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-770-3234. That's 800-770-3234. 800-770-3234.
94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome a Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
Frank, I really think we need an American Home Shield home warranty.
But we have homeowners insurance.
I'm worried about our home appliances and systems breaking down, like our air conditioner. Homeowners insurance doesn't cover any of that. A home warranty does.
But homeowners insurance covers stuff that might happen, like a meteor crashing into our house or a Bigfoot attack.
A Bigfoot attack?
There's a Bigfoot outside now.
That's the neighbor's dog.
Sounds like a Bigfoot.
Homeowners insurance can cover the things that might happen, like Bigfoot destroying your home. But an American Home Shield home warranty covers what will happen, like your home systems and appliances breaking down. Protect your budget from covered breakdowns of up to 21 major home systems and appliances, your air conditioner, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-900-9517.
Pretty sure that's a Bigfoot.
For valuable free information about an American Home Shield home warranty, call 1-800-900-9517. That's 1-800-900-9517. 1-800-900-9517.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I've told you for a long time about the good fortune of my interaction with Dr. Dennis Black. Dr. Black, Texas Superfood, that whole world. It's great. The new Plexo Wellness Centers have shown me how to eat right, live right, shop right, lose weight, feel great, more energy. And at the center of all this is something you can start doing right now. The 100% natural way to gain energy, sleep better, balance your weight, live a healthier life. Texas Superfood from Dr. Black. It's 100% of the recommended daily doses of vitamins A, C, D, and E. Texas Superfood made from 55 raw, antioxidant-rich, naturally grown, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables. And then they add nothing, as the commercials say. A daily dose of capsules or powder delivers the vitamins, enzymes, and micronutrients contained in a healthy intake of raw fruits and vegetables. So get on board now. TexasSuperfood.com. TexasSuperfood.com. I love it. Feeling great, losing weight. TexasSuperfood.com. Or 844-DR-BLACK, 844-DR-BLACK.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. I get asked a lot if the Good Contractors List is like Angie's List, so I thought I'd take the time to do a comparison and let you decide. On the Good Contractors List, we actually meet every one of our contractors face-to-face and have an extensive screening process. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. On the Good Contractors List, if issues arise with our contractors, we get physically involved and will come to your home if necessary. On Angie's List, you can pay to write a bad review. The Good Contractors List takes into consideration things like overhead and sales tactics when choosing our contractors. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. If one of our contractors refuses to fix a problem, we investigate fully and pay up to $10,000 of our own money to get it fixed. On Angie's List, you can write a bad review and you're on your own. The Good Contractors List is absolutely free with a $10,000 guarantee. Reviews are good. Responsibility is better.
The Good Contractors List.
Dallas Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. So I want to talk to you a little bit about something that's happening here in our nation, and it has to do with the Democrat Party. In the last couple of weeks, I've noticed a couple of dynamics, and they are worth discussing. And strangely enough, a Democrat last night, Daniel from Mansfield, good friend of the Wells Report, he said that a healthy Republican Party was important to the success of the United States because competition is the crucible of excellence. Those are my words, but he said essentially the same thing. And what ended up happening was is that while we can all agree on that very simple concept, at various times, America's great political parties go through peaks and valleys, booms and busts. And the Democrats are about to engage in one that is really going to take them through some very hard times. It starts at the very worst possible place for the Democrats. It starts with their fundraising. Their major fundraisers, a couple of their major fundraisers, have been picked off by Jeb Bush. One of them said they believed that Jeb Bush could be the next progressive Teddy Roosevelt type president, which is just exactly what the country does not need. The other one said that he was not going to have anything to do with the Democrat Party until all the crazies were out of power. And he referenced Nancy Pelosi, Barbara Boxer, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and on and on. Well, at some point or another, President Obama has been spoiling to separate everyone from whatever it is they hold dear. President Obama's pattern of leadership is to force people into a decision-making process whereby they have to choose between their principles and their president. There are people who have chosen their principles. Those people have run afoul of the unbelievably corrupt Department of Justice and the way the president and Eric Holder, the former attorney general, used to run it. New York Senator Menendez is currently under indictment for federal crimes preferred by the Department of Justice. Now, when you start thinking about the political ramifications of just exactly what the Department of Justice has been doing for the last 6 years, to turn its enforcement as a political tool weapon on one of your own is awful. Robert Menendez was acting on a cause of conscience. But the president of the United States wanted to separate Robert Menendez, from his principles, and he was not successful. And so Menendez is in a position where he may end up being convicted of a political crime for the sake of encouraging the others. Don't mess with me or I'll take you out. Who's the latest to put himself in that position? The third-ranking Democrat in the United States Senate, the likely Democrat leader in 2017, Senator Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer has decided and has announced that he opposes the Iran nuclear deal and that he will not support, by his vote, any of it. Now, immediately there was a snapback and a conspiracy theory about that, which I will share with you in just a couple of minutes. But here's the statement that Chuck Schumer put out regarding his stance on the Iran nuclear deal. Every several years or so, a legislator is called upon to cast a momentous vote in which the stakes are high and both sides of the issue are vociferous in their views. Over the years, I have learned the best way to treat such decisions is to study the issue carefully, hear the full, unfiltered explanation of those for and against, and then, without regard to pressure, politics, or party, make a decision solely based on the merits. I've spent the last 3 weeks doing just that, carefully studying the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, reading and rereading the agreement and its annexes, questioning dozens of proponents and opponents, seeking answers to questions that go beyond the text of the agreement, but will have real consequences that must be considered. Advocates on both sides have strong cases for their points of view that cannot simply be dismissed. This has made evaluating the agreement a difficult and deliberate endeavor, and after deep study, careful thought, and considerable soul-searching, I have decided I must oppose the agreement and will vote yes on a motion of disapproval. While we have come to different conclusions, I give tremendous credit to President Obama for his work on the issue. The President, Secretary Kerry, and their team have spent painstaking months and years pushing Iran to come to an agreement. Iran would not have come to the table without the President's persistent efforts to convince the Europeans, the Russians, and the Chinese to join in the sanctions. In addition, it was the President's far-sighted focus that led our nation to accelerate development of the massive ordnance penetrator, the best military deterrent and antidote to a nuclear Iran. So whichever side one comes down on in this agreement, all fair-minded Americans should acknowledge the President's strong achievements in combating and containing Iran. In making my decision, I examined this deal in 3 parts: nuclear restrictions on Iran in the first 10 years, nuclear restrictions on Iran after 10 years, and non-nuclear components and consequences of the deal. In each case, I have asked, are we better off with the agreement or without it? This is Chuck Schumer's statement in announcing that he will oppose the Iran nuclear deal against the wishes of President Obama. In the first 10 years of the deal, there are serious weaknesses in the agreement. First, inspections are not anywhere, anytime. The 24-day delay before we can inspect is troubling. While inspectors would likely be able to detect radioactive isotopes at a site after 24 days, that delay would enable Iran to escape detection of any illicit building and improving of possible military dimensions. The tool that goes into building a bomb but does not emit radioactivity. Furthermore, even when we detect radioactivity at a site where Iran is illicitly advancing its bomb-making capability, the 24-hour delay would hinder our ability to determine precisely what was being done at the site. Even more troubling is the fact the U.S. cannot demand inspections unilaterally, and by requiring the majority of the 8-member Joint Commission, and assuming that China, Russia, and Iran will not cooperate, inspections would require the votes of all 3 European members of the P5+1, as well as the European Union representative. It is reasonable to fear that once the Europeans become entangled in lucrative economic relations with Iran, they may be well inclined to not rock the boat by voting to allow inspections. Additionally, the snapback provisions in the agreement seem cumbersome and difficult to use. While the U.S. could unilaterally cause snapback of all sanctions, there will be instances where it would be more appropriate to snap back some, but not all of them, because the violation is significant but not severe. A partial snapback of multilateral sanctions could be difficult to obtain because the U.S. would require cooperation of the other nations. If the U.S. insists on snapback of all of the provisions, which it can do unilaterally, the Europeans, Russians, or Chinese feel that that is too severe a punishment, they might just not comply. Yeah. God, what a mess. What a terrible deal. Those who argue for the agreement say it's better to have an imperfect deal than to have nothing, that without the agreement there would be no inspections, no snapback. When you consider only this portion of the deal, nuclear restrictions for the first 10 years, that line of thinking is plausible. But even for this part of the agreement, the weaknesses mentioned above make this argument less compelling. Second, we must evaluate how this deal would restrict Iran's nuclear development after 10 years. Supporters argue that after 10 years, a future president would be no weaker than the position he's in now, or she, to prevent Iran from racing to the bomb. That argument discounts the current sanctions regime. After 15 years of relief from sanctions, Iran would be stronger financially and better able to advance a robust nuclear program. Even more importantly, the agreement would allow Iran, after 10 to 15 years, to be a nuclear threshold state with the blessings of the world community. Iran would have a green light to be as close, if not closer, to possessing a nuclear weapon than it is today, and the ability to thwart Iran, if it is intent on becoming a nuclear power, would have less moral and economic force. If Iran's true interest is to get a nuclear weapon under this agreement, it must simply exercise patience. After 10 years, it can be very close to achieving that goal. And unlike its current unsanctioned pursuit of a nuclear weapon, Iran's nuclear program will be codified in an agreement signed by the United States and other nations. To me, after 10 years, if Iran is the same nation as it is today, we will be worse off with this agreement than without it. This is the statement of Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, breaking with most of his party and the President of the United States as far as the Iran nuclear deal is concerned. Now, what does this mean to us? What this means to us is that the president's power coalition is beginning to come apart. And that's good. Because this president has never had to do something every other president before him has been forced to do. And that was and is make deals with the political opposition, whom he vilifies unmercifully at every opportunity. There's more. It's next. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Are you struggling with drug or alcohol addiction? Are you ready to admit who you are? An out-of-control addict? Good. Now, let me tell you who we are and why you should call us at the Lighthouse in Anaheim, California. We are a licensed rehab facility. We've treated thousands of clients for 15 years and have an excellent reputation from trauma to detox to recovery. All treatment is kept gender specific, not co-ed. Almost all of our staff have personal experience in recovery ourselves, so we can empathize with you. We can talk to you and know what you're going through. Recovery is our life's work. All our counselors are certified. Our therapists are all master's degree level or higher. We are accredited by the highest international rating agency for residential facilities. We are committed to your lifelong recovery and success. We'll come pick you up 24/7 at your location in Southern California, and we accept most HMO and PPO insurances. If you're ready, call today, 1-877-959-5909. That's 877-959-5909. The Lighthouse in Anaheim, a beacon of hope.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet, America's #1 arch support. And that invites the question, who needs arch supports? Answer is more people than you think. Do your feet hurt at the end of a day? That's not just the way life is supposed to be. You should have arch support where your feet feel great even at the end of a long day of walking. If your feet hurt at the beginning of the day, man, you got all kinds of issues, and they can be helped. You can get out of pain with arch support. It could be structural misalignment, plantar fasciitis, kind of a foot alignment, supination, overpronation, all these technical things that they know about at Good Feet. And what you'll know is you can walk in pain. You can limp in and walk out pain-free. This happens with so many people. I want to send everybody to goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com, Plano, Fort Worth, Southlake. Absolutely fantastic people. No shots, no medicine, no surgery, just relief from pain. So get out of pain today. 888-660-0942. 888-660-0942 or goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com.
I'm Steve Sidkowski, a former Wall Street insider. I'm holding a book that will show you investing strategies which could help you earn the kind of money you've always dreamed about. And right now I'm giving this book away for free. So who needs to read it? If you're in the middle of your career and worry you'll never have enough money to retire, you need to read this book. If you're already retired and your income isn't enough, you need to read this book. And if you don't want to be selling burgers at 80, you need to read this free book. It includes the strategy I use to make a 72% profit on a trade where the stock only moved 12%. You'll need at least $1 million to ever fully retire. If you're behind on that goal, you really need to read Trade Like the Pros. And you can for free by calling 1-800-708-4557. Skeptical that it will deliver results? It's a free book, so what do you have to lose? Find out how at 1-800-708-4557. 1-800-708-4557.
We're speaking with Craig Powers, president of Power Jack Foundation Repair. And Craig, look, there's that big yellow thing in the sky.
That's right, Steve. You know, it looks like the sun is out and we're finally in for one of our hot Texas summers. You know, I have customers calling me all the time saying, Craig, what do I do now after all these rains? And I tell them, get your foundation inspected now. As the soils dry out, foundations are going to start to move again. You want to catch it now before the problem gets worse, because now it'll be less expensive and less extensive to fix the problem.
So, Craig, are you saying that as the heat continues and the ground dries out, that your foundation problems, if you have any, they could get worse and worse?
Yes, that's correct. I wish I had a magic pill to make foundations stop moving, but unfortunately I don't. So now is the time to get it checked.
So give Craig a call today. Check it out before it becomes a bigger problem. Power Jack Foundation Repair, all of their work is guaranteed for the life of your home. Give them a call today, 866-638-PJFR. That's 866-638-7537, or go to pjfr.com.
The holiday concert of the year is returning to Dallas December 6th at American Airlines Center. Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops together again on stage performing holiday classics. Dallas's newest holiday tradition will fill American Airlines Center with the holiday spirit. Sunday, December 6th, Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops at American Airlines Center. Tickets on sale now online at Ticketmaster.com by calling 800-745-3000 or at the American Airlines Center box office.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Chuck Schumer has decided to not support the Iranian nuclear deal. He says it's a bad deal. His description of it reinforces just how bad a deal this is. There was a conspiracy theory that floated around that said, well, you know, by virtue of being able to count the votes, Chuck Schumer could perhaps have positioned himself into a kind of a pocket where he could vote no in public, all the while reassuring the president that he's only doing so for political effect. Because what would happen is that, yeah, the disapproval resolution would be passed by both the Senate and the House, but there would be no veto override. Now, that is a, quote, win for the president, although it would badly damage his standing in the world. Because not only does President Obama have to work for a domestic audience to pass what he considers to be important, he also has to look as though he can get things done on the international stage, because that's where he wants his future to be anyway. He wants to leave the United States behind and become a citizen of the world. Okay. Fine. But the Democrats are beginning to realize that they have a huge, huge problem. The leaders are getting to the point where they have made so many stupid statements. They've done so many things that are inexcusable under our current system of government. They've done so many things wrong that it's really going to be hard to be able to fix them all in some reasonable amount of time. Now, this will probably be one of them. And yeah, the president may indeed be able to blame this at some point, or the results of this on someone else. But what I'm interested in is what are the Democrats going to do when they're in their post-Obama phase and he skips off across the planet to go become the General Secretary of the United Nations? What's he going to do? What are the Democrats going to do? Are they just going to say, oh, well, and just start continuing to do what they do? And what about their fundraising? Are they going to have to jettison, along with President Obama, those sycophantic Democrats that could not, under any circumstances, do anything except follow every edict the president laid down, thereby damaging the Democrat brand for years to come? And you know what? We have a year and a half left. January 20th, 2017, the last day of President Obama. What will an angry, bitter president whose party has left him, what will this angry, bitter president do? We're just at the beginning. This is the Wells Report.
Dennis Prager believes the left will leave no stone unturned.
How impossible it has become to avoid leftism. There is nothing that is freed from their tentacles. They must intrude everywhere. The arrogance of people on the left is so deep because they know better.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
How will the future affect the money decisions you make now? Find out Saturday morning with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell on Smart Money. Smart Money will bring you the latest information regarding financial markets and what it means to you and your investment and retirement portfolio. Not knowing could be costly. Smart Money, a voice of experience and integrity, with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell. Tomorrow morning at 8 on 660 AM. The Answer.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair. repaired.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOSCELL.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you've come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. But best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOSCELL.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com. EOSCELL.com.
911, what is your emergency?
Please help me. My car, it's been stolen.
Did you know the FBI reports that every 40 seconds a vehicle is stolen in America? And if you think it's only the flashy sports cars, think again. Hey, Kurt Chase here for Guide Point System. With over 25 years in the auto industry and now host of the Automotive Edge radio show, I've helped a lot of consumers find a replacement for their stolen car, truck, and SUV. And trying to replace that exact car with your insurance company? Well, let's just think for a second. A Guide Point anti-theft recovery system or trying to replace your car. Not only is Guide Point System an anti-theft recovery system, but also with the push of a button, connect to a live Guide Point representative 24/7 for roadside assistance, emergencies, and directions. To learn more about Guide Point, go to GuidePointSystems.com. That's GuidePointSystems.com. Guide Point System, the only anti-theft recovery system endorsed by the Automotive Edge radio show.
Square Trade does not cover lost or stolen items. Savings based on 2-year iPhone plan with one claim compared to Asurion total equipment coverage as of April 10th, 2015.
Don't overpay for phone insurance. Save with Square Trade phone protection instead. Phone insurance from Verizon, Sprint, or other wireless carriers can cost you as much as $11 every month, plus up to a $199 deductible when you break your phone. Square Trade phone protection is less than $5 a month. We can save you over $240.
Start saving with Square Trade now. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a home inspector who needs friends.
Yeah, so these studs need to be 1/4 inch further apart, give or take 1/2 inch. It's got to be just right, you know, like the coverage Progressive provides for your construction business. Otherwise, I'll have to shut you guys down. But if I do, maybe you could come out for Tuesday trivia. Fair warning, I'm kind of a know-it-all. You'll see what I mean at board game night. Hey, what's your number?
Commercial insurance that's perfect for your small business. Visit progressivecommercial.com to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So, I don't know whether you're aware of this or not, but there is a distillery in town that is rather remarkable. The guy who runs the distillery is named Quentin Witherspoon. He is a 5th-generation Louisville local. He is quite a guy. He is the founder and master distiller for the Witherspoon Distillery. We're going to be talking with him at 11 o'clock. And what he's going to do is he's going to teach you about distilled spirits, whiskey, and what all of these various beverages, what the actual history of all of these beverages is. I have found out some things from this guy that are truly remarkable. So remarkable, in fact, I wanted to share all that information with you. Literally listening to the conversation that I'm going to have with Quentin Witherspoon beginning at 11 o'clock and lasting until about 11:30 or so could save you thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. So you need to join us. So don't do it. Don't forget, okay? Don't forget to join us in about 22 minutes and 56 seconds from now. Have you been to the Fort Worth stockyards? What do you think of the Fort Worth stockyards? 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. The stockyards is an interesting place. I feel the history when I walk the streets of old Fort Worth. There is something eerily familiar about it to me. I can't explain it. I don't try. But every now and then I just get this need to go down to the stockyards and walk around in old Fort Worth. Now, the interesting thing about it is that there's an awful lot of potential in the stockyards, but there sure isn't a lot of really serious reality in the stockyards. I mean, it's nice that twice a day on the weekends, this herd of Texas Longhorns are driven down the street towards, well, what there would be a symbolic demise at the Armour Swift meatpacking plant that has been long closed for, I don't know, how many decades has the meatpacking plant been closed in the, I mean, way too many to count. Like we're talking like 30, 40, 50 years maybe. When did that close? Well, developers want to transform the mule barns in the Fort Worth stockyards into 180,000 square feet of restaurant, shopping, and office space. 62. Yeah, so 50 years. 1962. They closed. What was it? What was the name of the place? Armour Swift. Yeah, so what they want to do is they want to take the old mule barns. The old mule barns. Hi, my name is Cedric Mule Barn. I'd like to get you to put your office in the Fort Worth stockyards. Would you? Can people hear you? Why? Why do you do that to me? You need to turn your microphone on and spend some time. This is something that you want to talk about. This is something that you believe is really important.
Yes, I would buy from that man.
Would you?
What was his name?
Cedric Mule Barn. I'm glad you remember. I'm glad I remembered his name.
I don't think you did.
Well, I did there first. I had a little pause. Cedric Mule Barn. And I'm sitting there going, gosh, what did I call that guy? You know, when I do Bill and Stan, I've used the same characters for everything. You know, it's like even for this. Hey, Bill. Yes, Stan. Hey, I'm wondering whether or not we ought to do something with the stockyards. Well, I think it's probably a good idea. But sometimes I forget which voice is which. Pathetic, no?
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to refrain. I plead the fifth like Lois Lane.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so they're going to try to come up with 180,000 square feet of restaurant, shopping, and office space, part of a master plan that also proposes an outdoor festival and event areas. I fully concur.
No. Where are they going to put all the cars?
They're talking about doing a $175 million project. They'll just put them up there on the hill where the old Armour Swift plant was. Of course, they'll have to do something with the Armour Swift plant.
All
you
right.
know, I mean, think about this for a minute.
There's nothing to think about.
What do you mean?
There's nothing to think about. The stockyards are fine. There's history. There's already shopping. There's already restaurants.
Yeah, but there's nothing going on. I mean, you go into what's the you can go to Risky's and there's a really great Mexican restaurant there, and you can take the train. I took that train ride.
Yeah.
You know, the Tarantula, I guess that's what it's called.
No. The Tarantula is somewhere else.
Okay, well, where's the train that goes from the stockyards to Grapevine? That's the historic railroad.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. and it's the world's worst railroad track, and we muttered through the worst part of Fort Worth. It was nothing more than a trek through Garbageville.
Well,
Okay,
then you don't have to take the ride, Mr. Hoity-toity.
no, I'm not talking about Mr. Hoity-toity. I'm talking about doing something to restore a steam locomotive and do an old-timey Western train, with the Comanche attack and all that kind of stuff.
You can't do that today. Cowboys and Indians is racist.
It is not racist at all. You let the Comanches win.
Okay, that makes everything better.
Yeah. What you do is you just sacrifice a couple of visitors, preferably foreigners from Europe.
I wonder how they would do a fake scalping. You might be onto something.
Well, yeah, you can do a fake scalping. You just have to get the right person. And then the two Comanches, Bill? Yes, Dan. Is that the right person? It is now. Looks mighty realistic. Yeah. So the funniest thing, I guess the most entertaining thing I've seen, and I love the stockyards. Okay. You have to understand, I feel haunted there. I go to hang around because I like it. I like sitting on a bench in my cowboy hat, watching people go by, just hanging out there. But one of the most entertaining things I saw was, remember the longhorns that you sit on, you get a picture. These longhorn cows are sitting there wearing a saddle. Yeah, waiting for death. They're wearing a saddle, and these people climb up on them and they take a picture.
Yeah, with the Indian standing next to him.
Yeah. Well, the Indians. So anyway, so this one decides it's not going. He's not going back out there. And he's talking to his cowboy, he's talking to his cowboy handler, and he goes, I'm not going back out there, man. I'm not going to do it. I can't stand it. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to go out there one more day. And you could see the look on his face. And the cowboy's just pulling him, and he's going, no, I am not going. Not going. And then another cowboy comes up and pushes on his haunches, and he sort of starts to slip, and then the other cowboy pulls him towards there, and before you know it, he's standing there, and you walk past him, and this cow looks at you with this long, suffering look in his face and goes, moo, moo. And these cows, these longhorns that they drive up and down the street.
Yes, those are pretty pathetic.
They're pathetic. How many head is there? There's like, these are all butts.
No, stop it. There's like 40 or 50.
1, 2, 3. Not in this picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 10 or 12 of them.
And my young nieces and nephews just think that is the best thing ever.
That's the best thing ever. Yeah. We could do what they do in Cartagena, Spain. We can call it snoozing with the bulls.
All right, I'm going to try really hard not to laugh because you do not deserve that.
That was funny. Art in Arlington, welcome to the Wells Report.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. What do you think about spending $175 million on the stockyards? Should we turn it into a highfalutin, Western, enjoyable, fun family event?
Well, I feel like this. I'm for anything that will help keep the stockyards a going concern. But you really shocked me with your mention of the fact of the year that it closed. Because as I was telling Miss Vicky, when they closed that place, Stan sold a pickup to Lonnie Morgan, and Lonnie Morgan ended up, when he passed away, his wife gave it to her father, and then when his son got old enough to drive, he gave that same truck to him.
Okay.
That's a real story.
Okay, so it's a real story, but Stan who?
Stan, the guy you just got through.
Oh, Stanley. Yeah, Stan. Yeah. I got it. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was my first vehicle.
That was your first vehicle?
Yep. A 62 Chevrolet pickup.
Yeah, what year was it?
meatpacking plant. 1962 was when they closed it down and he bought it.
Wow, cool. So, and you got it? Do you still have it?
Oh no, I burned the engine up in it twice.
So, that's an old pickup
Yeah.
truck. You just put a new you just give it a heart transplant. You just keep keeping them going.
Yeah.
You don't get rid of pickup trucks.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, listen, I'm gonna let you go, but you have a good weekend.
You too, brother. Thanks very much. So what do you never answered the question. Should they spend the $175 million bucks on the stockyards and make it into a posh family affair?
I don't see it.
All right. Gunfights in the streets. They could yeah. Yeah.
This is not going to bode well for him at home.
That's a great song. Random. Turn it up. Be waiting at the end of my ride.
Move 'em on, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, move 'em on, move 'em on, hit 'em up, rawhide. Let 'em out, ride 'em in, let 'em in, let 'em out, cut 'em out, ride 'em in, rawhide.
Yeah.
I'll be in deep trouble.
Well, you see, but the thing about it is, that was a song. That was a song that my beloved wife Susan sang to me on our honeymoon.
What?
The whole thing. It was one of the great moments of my life. You have not lived until you've heard Susan sing Rawhide. I'm surprised.
Now who's going to be in trouble?
I'm surprised that Vicky doesn't know that.
So you're telling me that's one of the pivotal things to start a marriage off right?
Abso-frickin-lutely. I've still got the branding to prove it. Yeah. I don't think we got anywhere with this. I'm trying to find out whether or not we need to turn the stockyards into something more highfalutin.
I don't know about you, but I gave my opinion early on.
You don't believe it should be more highfalutin.
I think it's
that'll
perfect as it is.
I think that what we ought to do is I think look, I like the idea of promoting the stockyards. What I could see, honestly, I could see an outdoor festival where everybody dresses up like it's 1890. And everybody walks around and lives like it's 1890. I guess electricity would have been there, at least in some ways. But whatever. But you could sit there and actually enjoy yourself. Why not? I don't know that it's worth $175 million, but I certainly would like to talk more about it. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer.
This week on House Talk Today, we continue our Consumer Report series, Creating the Perfect Kitchen. This Saturday, the last of our Part 3 series, Choosing Appliances. From ranges and cooktops to dishwashers and refrigerators, you don't want to miss this segment. Plus, the organic garden segment, and of course, your phone calls. So find a cool spot, tune in, and enjoy a little House Talk Today.
Tune in to House Talk Today, tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report for my good friend Walt Parker. Walter, you picked kind of a silly name for a very serious business.
Yes, I hear that a lot, JD, but our goal is to allow our customers to not get sick when they are investing. We give them the education they need to make confident decisions about their future. Here are my personal top 5 reasons how investingmakesmesick.com can help you. 1, there's more to investing than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. 2, every client is important to us. 3, knowledge is power, and we can provide that knowledge. 4, every investor is different, and we have many different options for each person. 5, we value your time and offer our We Come to You service.
What are your top 5 reasons for investing? Schedule an appointment with Walt Parker and his team at 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833. Or check out their all-new website at investingmakesmesick.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Member of FINRA SIPC. Investment subject to suitability. Risk and expenses may apply. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet, America's #1 arch support. And that invites the question, who needs arch supports? Answer is more people than you think. Do your feet hurt at the end of a day? That's not just the way life is supposed to be. You should have arch support where your feet feel great even at the end of a long day of walking. If your feet hurt at the beginning of the day, man, you got all kinds of issues and they can be helped. You can get out of pain with arch support. It could be structural misalignment, plantar fasciitis, kind of a foot alignment, supination, overpronation, all these technical things that they know about at Good Feet. And what you'll know is you can walk in pain. You can limp in and walk out pain-free. This happens with so many people. I want to send everybody to goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com, Plano, Fort Worth, Southlake. Absolutely fantastic people. No shots, no medicine, no surgery, just relief from pain. So get out of pain today. 888-660-0942, 888-660-0942, or goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com.
Sample comes with a 90-day order. Copays and deductibles may apply.
If you or someone you care for are using painful urinary catheters, Medical Direct Club can help. There's a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample with free shipping by calling now. Pain and urinary tract infections can be avoided if you're using urinary catheters. The new disposable catheters from Medical Direct Club hurt less due to an incredible new design that reduces pain by gliding easily and effortlessly. Old catheters can scrape and cut, causing pain and infection. These new catheters from Medical Direct Club are changing the lives of people who use urinary catheters. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these new catheters per month at little or no cost to you. Medical Direct Club handles all of the paperwork with your doctor and includes lifetime free shipping when you join. Membership and a free sample are free, so call Medical Direct Club now. 1-800-600-6144. That's 1-800-600-6144. End painful cathing today. Call 1-800-600-6144.
Are you a first-time gun owner or maybe thinking about getting a gun for self-defense? Then you need to go to Patriot Protection for concealed handgun license classes and tactics. Patriot Protection is where first-time shooters can learn firearm and safety skills in a welcoming and friendly environment using non-lethal ammunition with a trained professional at your side. At Patriot Protection, there are no distracting gunshot noises, no gunpowder odors, and no bulky hearing protection to muffle the instructors. Patriot Protection also specializes in offering live scenario training. Instructors will teach you tactics for what to do in the event of an active shooter, home invasion, carjacking, road rage encounter, and even what to do if you're in a convenience store being robbed, using live demonstrations in their simulation studios. For a limited time only, get a Groupon for up to 63% off concealed handgun license classes. To learn more, go to patriotprotection.net. That's patriotprotection.net.
Do you want to learn how to mask your identity to browse inappropriate websites and stream media while at the office?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's web security solutions keep online activity clean and ensure internet bandwidth performance. Reclaim your network, like 150,000 other businesses already have. To learn more about preventing web-based threats, visit barracuda.com/web.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Doug in Keller. Thanks very much. What do you think? Should we spend $175 million on the stockyards?
No. I mean, anybody can, if you're looking for a conference center, just chain restaurants and
Gaylord, Texas.
You can go anywhere for that.
Yeah.
But, the idea of stepping back in Old West and Americana, people come to Fort Worth because it's unique. They come because it's different and it's an experience. If anything, they should expand about. I like to see Westworld. Remember Westworld?
Sure. Absolutely.
You don't need robots killing people. But
why not? If you think about how many problems we could solve if we just had a couple of robot malfunctions every now and then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. but I'd like to see them continue in that theme and expand upon it and make it a really, really unique experience that would draw people to Fort Worth.
I agree. I wanted to put together a little city, one of those Western cities that was actually a place where you could immerse yourself. You show up and you get some clothes and you live the life that they would have lived. They do that in, it's basically would be a Western version, a Wild West version, not wild, but a Western version of Colonial Williamsburg. That's something that I've always thought would have been perfect. Let me get a hold of Jeff in Arlington. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, JV.
What do you think?
Yes, I was kind of thinking along the same lines that what they need to do is to promote what it was and what it is, not what everybody else has.
I agree. I think that's a fine plan. I don't mind them expanding a little bit, but I'd like to see them do something with it. I think it could be better. This is the Wells Report.
20 plus years of unemployment. That's what retirement is or should be, but imagine still working when you're 75 because you didn't have an exit plan for the next stock market crash. If you think your current plan has too much risk, listen to Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 a.m. The Answer. Rick and Kevin will tell you the truth about the financial world we live in. No one knows when the next correction will be. So listen to Plain Talk No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Call 267-8433 because the next best thing to do is Dalworth Clean.
Hi, Cheryl here for Dalworth Clean. And you've been hearing the Dalworth jingle for almost 40 years. And when you hear it, you probably think carpet cleaning. But Dalworth offers so much more. Dalworth can clean and restore every type of flooring in your home, including natural stone floors like marble, travertine, and slate. The combination of traffic and soil take their toll over time, robbing your stone floor of its original.
Check, 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 check. She was married to an American hero, and then that gallant icon was taken from her. The book was called American Sniper, the one that she wrote detailing her life. The book detailing his life was called American Sniper. The book she wrote detailing hers is American Wife. Next time on the Wells Report, we walk for a few moments in the footsteps of Taya Kyle. What's it like to live in her post-Chris Kyle world? We'll talk about her life, we'll talk about the book, and we'll talk with you on the next edition of the Wells Report. Mark Davis, good Monday morning, my brother. Thanks very much for giving me this time to tell people that Taya Kyle is coming to the Wells Report. She was married to an American icon, and that book was called, and the book that chronicled his life was called American Sniper. Taya has written American Wife, a story that is uniquely hers. What's it like to be married to an American hero and have that American hero taken from you? What is she going to do next? We cover all that and more on the next edition of the Wells Report. Don't miss it.
Center box office.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Gary Baumgarten. No death penalty, but life behind bars for Colorado theater shooter James Holmes. The jury could have sentenced him to death, but
there was a holdout juror that somebody or maybe a couple jurors were not willing to sentence Holmes to death because of his mental illness.
Fox News Radio's Dan Springer in Centennial, Colorado. Finally, some good news for people living near the biggest and most threatening wildfire in California.
The Rocky Fire north of San Francisco is only 45% contained at just under 70,000 acres, but some residents are being allowed home.
Fox News Radio's Jessica Rosenthal, a Fairfax County, Virginia cop who fatally shot an unarmed man inside the man's front door, has been fired. Officer Adam Torres was responding to a domestic dispute call a year ago and shot 46-year-old John Gear, who came to the door with his hands up. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
At Arizona State University, we believe in giving you everything you need to learn to thrive. So it's good to know the experts and college reviewers agree. U.S. News and World Report names ASU the second most innovative school in the country. The Wall Street Journal says ASU is 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. The esteemed Princeton Review ranks ASU in the top 15% of America's four-year colleges as a leader in undergrad education. This is a university that empowers you to truly thrive thrive. Arizona State University Online gives you the exact same curriculum, identical degree, and access to the same prestigious faculty as on-campus students. You can choose from over 100 degree programs, all enhanced by our innovative online learning technologies. For more information, call 1-800-600-6431. U.S. News and World Report ranked us in the top 10 for earning an online degree. All these high marks should give you confidence in your big plans. Learn to thrive with ASU Online. Call 1-800-600-6431. That's 1-800-600-6431.
Frank, I really think we need an American Home Shield home warranty.
But we have homeowners insurance.
I'm worried about our home appliances and systems breaking down, like our air conditioner. Homeowners insurance doesn't cover any of that. A home warranty does.
But homeowners insurance covers stuff that might happen, like a meteor crashing into our house or a Bigfoot attack.
A Bigfoot attack?
There's a Bigfoot outside now.
That's the neighbor's dog.
Sounds like a Bigfoot.
Homeowners insurance can cover the things that might happen, like Bigfoot destroying your home. But an American Home Shield home warranty covers what will happen, like your home systems and appliances breaking down. Protect your budget from covered breakdowns of up to 21 major home systems and appliances, your air conditioner, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-900-9517.
Pretty sure that's a Bigfoot.
For valuable free information about an American Home Shield home warranty, call 1-800-900-9517. That's 1-800-900-9517. 1-800-900-9517.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I love birthdays, and our friends at Abacus Foundation Repair are celebrating 15 years of serving North Texas with the highest quality foundation repair, and they want to give something to you. On their 15th anniversary, $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. Not only are you going to save $1,000, you'll have the peace of mind knowing that with Abacus Foundation, you're getting the elite state-of-the-art solution for your home. Millennium composite pilings. Nobody else has them. Abacus has an A-plus business rating from the Better Business Bureau, 6 straight years running on that. The expansion and contraction of Texas soils mean a lot of us have foundation issues. You don't want to call the wrong people. Call the right people first for the absolute best foundation repair. Affordable, reliable home warranty that you can pass on to subsequent owners of your home. Give them a call today, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, abacusfoundationrepair.com. Ask about $1,000 off, abacusfoundationrepair.com. Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOSCELL.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you have come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. Best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOSCELL.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com. EOSCELL.com.
If you're over 40 and concerned about your strength and power, here's a special announcement. There's no question creatine is great to build strength at any age. And there's no question with over 300 studies, creatine really works. The only question is, why aren't you taking creatine? Introducing Everstrong, the little pill powered by pharmaceutical-grade creatine that takes your strength, power, and stamina to a whole new level. And today, you can even get a free bottle. Boost your strength by 20%. Boost your endurance by 15%. Build muscle and stamina. Whether you're a man or a woman, we're so sure Everstrong is going to work for you. We'll even send you a free bottle to put it to the test. Everstrong is the little pill that makes a big difference. Call now for your free bottle. 1-800-205-9130. 1-800-205-9130. For your free bottle of Everstrong, call right now. 1-800-205-9130.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
660 AM. The answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The answer.
You are listening to the Wells Reports. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number, 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. One of the interesting things about life in the Wells family is that Susan takes us to fun places. Not necessarily really expensive places, not necessarily really exciting, incredible. Sometimes she just takes us to cool places where there are cool people. And we found one of those places. It is the Witherspoon Distillery. And I got to listen to a guy named Quentin Witherspoon. Quentin is the master distiller there. He's the founder of the distillery. Business is good. Business is good insofar as he has put himself in a position where he's about to expand and get better air conditioning for the distillery. Anyway, that being said, I learned an amazing amount about whiskey and the distilling process, and it was so interesting. I decided that what I would do is share Quentin Witherspoon with you, and he joins us on 660 AM The Answer. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good, Jon-David. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm not much of a drinker, but I really do love the entire art around distilling, brewing, winemaking, so on and so forth. I think it's a fascinating art form. It's one that is ancient in the human endeavor, and I find it just really amazing. And you were talking about some things about how you put your whiskey together and what whiskey is, and most importantly, what whiskey is not. And I found out why I need to quit drinking vodka.
Well, vodka plays a pretty big, important part in the market. It's a cost-effective means of getting there.
Yeah, it's a cost-effective means of cleaning out the equipment for real distilled spirits. Yeah. Is that? I think that's what you told us.
It's a fast forward to the destination when we all know that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Indeed it is. What got my attention is that you distill rum. You distill a white rum there. You also distill a golden rum.
Mm-hmm.
And then you distill some Texas whiskey. And then you do a single malt whiskey that I want to talk about a little bit later on in the conversation. And what I want to know is, what I'd like to do is, first of all, how did you decide to put together a distillery in the middle of North Texas?
Well, to start with, I'm from this area. I was born and raised in Louisville and Flower Mound, and my family's been here for many generations. But I was away for many years in the military, and
well, not just the military, the United States Marine Corps, Ura.
Yeah, I'm proud to be a Marine, and as well, I'm blessed to have served with members of all the branches of the military, and I have a great amount of respect for all of them. So,
Hear.
It wasn't a hard decision to start a distillery, because in my heart, I knew that that's what I was going to do. It was the decision that was made for me. To be quite honest with you, I'm tremendously blessed, because I'd like to think that I put my distillery together, but I have to give all the credit to God, because all the pieces were lined up for me, and only a fool and a coward would have not actually acted on it.
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, I have a very supportive family, and because I am from here, my local community is very supportive. And if you don't have that, that's a struggle to work against. I've had the benefit of traveling and being in some interesting positions in my career in the Marines and doing other things, which helped me to learn a lot of things. But most importantly, when I decided, as I got closer to building the distillery, I feel like the people, my partners, the people who supported me the most, who volunteered, miraculously came into my life. And
Nice.
when all those pins were lined up, it was time to strike.
Okay, and so you decide to put this thing together. And what was your first product? What was the first thing you did? The first product.
The first thing I did was make a lot of vodka.
Okay, and vodka is distilled so many times that it removes that you remove flavor and you remove aroma from the spirits until it's basically just pure alcohol.
That's it. You're removing all the components. By law and by nature, vodka is supposed to be neutral, flavorless and odorless and colorless. And I made enough mistakes early on that I had an abundance of what I refer to as charcoal lighting fluid.
Yeah.
For a good period of time. And, I used a lot of that to light fires, and I used a lot of that to clean and sterilize my equipment and learn from my mistakes. But the first product that I began working on was whiskey, knowing that it had to be aged. Wasn't the first product that I released because I had to release a product that I could get into the market without age. But nearly before the whiskey was ready to release, I went ahead and entered the market with my River Rum.
Which is delicious, by the way.
Thank you very much.
It's
Very
really
proud of
good.
it.
Both of your rums are fantastic. By the way, you can go to the Witherspoon Distillery, and what you can do is you can do a tasting, and it's not crazy. I mean, it's just these are small little, just the perfect amount to get a really good taste of what they're doing. And this is truly remarkable. These are remarkable beverages that Quentin's put together.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm enjoying one right now.
Well, I am not, and I feel somewhat left out, actually, Quentin. We have to talk about that at some point.
We'll have to fix that.
Yes, indeed, we will. So you put together, so how long let's talk a little bit about the aging process, because
Sure.
you were talking about how bad whiskey requires more time in a barrel. And I also learned something that I actually knew, that the color of whiskey that we're familiar with comes from the barrel, not necessarily from the actual distilling process.
Correct. To answer your first question, a lot of people believe that aging whiskey is what makes the quality of the whiskey, and that's a bit of a misconception. Really, if you put high quality whiskey in a barrel, higher quality whiskey is going to come out, because the barrel is only going to complement the quality of that whiskey. If you put poor whiskey into a barrel, it takes longer for the barrel to fix the mistakes or quote unquote mask some of the problems. And then there's the mysterious or the mystique about having aged whiskey, and something that people can't grasp getting their head around is something that may have been made before they were aware that whiskey was around.
Right.
And that makes it exclusive, and it makes it neat, and people want to, they want a piece of that. And it's, what, I think everybody in the world wants a little bit of something that is bigger than them, and an aged whiskey often fills that void very easily.
Indeed, it does. But you mentioned that as you do this, you have different qualities of whiskey. It is not necessary for a whiskey to be overly aged, say, for example, cask aged or barrel aged. It's not necessary for that to happen if you put together a good whiskey to begin with.
And our malt whiskey was a great example of that.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit later on, because that, to me, is the star of the show. And I have a story about the star of that show that I'm gonna share with you in just a couple of seconds.
Good deal.
Okay, so you come up with the whiskey first, and well, actually, that was the first thing you put together. But how long did you age that first batch of whiskey?
We're still aging some of that first
really?
batch of whiskey. Yeah, preparation for the whole project goes as far back as 2007. We started really putting a lot of consistently quality whiskey in the barrel only in 2011, 2012. And we were granted our license in early spring of 2012, and it seems like it was only yesterday, but time flies.
Time does fly, especially when you're making good stuff. So you put the rum out first, which is just uniformly delicious. And then you made that rum, and basically that's just made out of sugar, is it not?
Well, it's sugar and molasses.
I see.
It can be made from just sugar, but if you follow the guidelines of what the Caribbean rum makers make, I learned to make rum in the Dominican Republic, and they use a lot of molasses.
Yeah.
And molasses has some very key flavors and imparts some really good traits into the rum. It makes it the buttery richness that you get. And,
butterscotch candy was what it reminded me of.
Yeah, I guess that's a trademark aroma for that product. It just smells like butterscotch in the wintertime.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It truly is amazing. Now I've alluded to this, and Quentin Witherspoon is our guest, by the way. He's the founder and master distiller of Witherspoon Distillery. And you can find out more by going to witherspoondistillery.com. Quentin is a wonderful tour host and is very entertaining, and you will enjoy and learn an amazing amount about whiskey that you probably should know. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I am allergic to corn, which means that I had to figure out some way of enjoying a beverage that wasn't made out of corn. And so I settled on Scotch, and then started thinking about, and that is, by the way, Scotch whiskey. And I found this wonderful, delicious Scotch that is a single malt. It's Macallan 18. It's also unbelievably expensive.
It is indeed.
It is. And it's very good. I mean, it's really, really good.
It's one of the most popular premium brands.
Yeah. And then I went to Quentin Witherspoon's distillery and found out that that Quentin has come up with a single malt whiskey, which is not Scotch because it's not being made in Scotland. It's being made in Texas. So you could probably call it Texan. Anyway, this single malt whiskey went to a competition, and in that competition kicked the living hell out of every other single malt whiskey except one. In other words, you're talking with a guy, Quentin Witherspoon, on the Wells Report here tonight, who is the creator of a single malt whiskey that put all of the whiskeys, single malts, except one, to shame. And that includes the ones that come from Scotland. And by the way, I'm reasonably sure that I did not pay $180 a bottle for it. And this is where you need to spend some time with Quentin, because you'll learn more about whiskey in about a half an hour than you've ever known, and it could save you thousands of dollars. The story of Witherspoon Single Malt next on the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. I get asked a lot if the Good Contractors List is like Angie's List, so I thought I'd take the time to do a comparison and let you decide. On the Good Contractors List, we actually meet every one of our contractors face-to-face and have an extensive screening process. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. On the Good Contractors list, if issues arise with our contractors, we get physically involved and will come to your home if necessary. On Angie's List, you can pay to write a bad review. The Good Contractors list takes into consideration things like overhead and sales tactics when choosing our contractors. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. If one of our contractors refuses to fix a problem, we investigate fully and pay up to $10,000 of our own money to get it fixed. On Angie's List, you can write a bad review and you're on your own. The Good Contractors list is absolutely free with a $10,000 guarantee. Reviews are good. Responsibility is better.
Good Contractors List.
There's no question fish oil is great for your heart and your brain. And there's no question krill oil is incredible to help your joints feel better. The only question is, why aren't you taking both? Well, good news. Now you can with Krill Omega 10X, the ultimate combination of pharmaceutical-grade fish oil amplified by the super antioxidant power of krill. And even better, today you can get a free bottle just simply by calling 1-800-448-KRILL. The Krill Omega 10X secret is that it delivers 10 times the EPA and DHA of regular krill oil. That's why it's going to work for you. Get your free bottle today and experience the benefits for your heart, your brain, your focus, and especially your joints. In fact, our Krill Omega 10X works so well, we guarantee your joints will feel better and more comfortable in just 7 days. That's why we want to send you a free bottle. Call 1-800-448-KRILL. That's 1-800-448-5745. Call now, 1-800-448-KRILL.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
Let me ask you a question. Where you been getting your fried yardbird on lately? I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's fried chicken. Well, at the diner, we do it a little bit different. Hand-pounded, hand-breaded, fried to order, and it comes with the best smooth, warm, creamy brie cheese. And then we top it with, oh my God, I can't even believe this, a tomato caper relish that is just out of this world. So if you've been eating fried yardbird somewhere else, come by the Crossroads Diner because my yardbird's the best.
Fresh ingredients sure to please any sophisticated palate and taste at affordable diner prices in a casual environment. Crossroads Diner. Come eat with us. We're off of Walnut Hill, just east of 75. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit us on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
Why should you try a free bottle of Krill Omega 10X? Well, if you're one of the millions of people who take fish oil and you want to experience the incredible benefits of krill and improve your joint comfort in just 7 days, then you've got to try a free bottle of Krill Omega 10X, the ultimate combination of ultra-pure fish oil and krill. Only Krill Omega 10X has 10 times the power of regular krill oil, so you know it's going to work for you. Experience the miracle of Krill Omega 10X for your heart, your cholesterol, your brain function, focus, energy, and especially your joints. For your free bottle, call now, 1-800-500-9575. We're so sure your joints are going to feel better and more flexible in just 7 days. We want to send you a free bottle. We know once you try it, you won't want to miss a day. Call now, 1-800-500-9575. Get your free bottle before they run out. Dial 1-800-500-9575. Call right now, 1-800-500-9575.
Lifestyles Unlimited is the real estate investor education and mentoring group that has taken people by the hand and taught them how to invest in real estate for over 24 years. Our students have been so successful at creating wealth and passive income that they've won local, state, and national Investor of the Year awards 9 of the last 9 years. It's easy to see why Personal Real Estate Investor magazine named us the best in the U.S. If you're ready to add real estate to your portfolio, go to PassiveIncomeDallas.com to access our free live training event schedule.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. His name is Quentin Witherspoon. So let me tell you about this Texas single malt whiskey that Quentin Witherspoon makes in the Witherspoon Distillery, which you can find out more about by going witherspoondistillery.com, witherspoondistillery.com. So there we are, peacefully minding our own business, and suddenly Quentin tells us a story about his single malt whiskey. Tell us about that story, Mr. Quentin.
Well, it starts off by kind of understanding how whiskey is made, and we have to rely on a lot of grain, and one of the grains that we rely on is called malt. And ironically, malt is not a grain; it's a process. The best way to understand whiskey and how it's made is to probably understand the malting process as it occurs in the country of Scotland. So over in the fields of barley that are harvested in Scotland, they bring that barley into buildings where they spray it down with water, and that causes it to germinate. A little root pops out of each kernel, and this signifies that there's a chemical change inside the grain, and now there's a balance of both starches and enzymes in that grain. And then the next process is, of course, to crush the barley and introduce it into extremely hot water. And because it floats, we mash it down, hence the term mashing. And the hot water activates enzymes, causes them to convert the starches into sugars. And that makes a product that we ferment, which turns into beer. And then we distill that and turn it into whiskey. Now, in Scotland, or in all cases, the wet grain spoils very quickly, so it has to be dried out immediately after malting. And in Scotland, they do so by applying heat using furnaces that burn a petroleum product that is exclusive to that part of the world that we know as peat moss.
Right.
And for lack of a better term, peat moss is nothing more than flammable dirt.
Mm-hmm.
You dig it up, you set it on fire, and it burns like a semi-truck full of bananas on I-35 on a Friday afternoon.
And it smells like peat moss.
Tires and it smells like tires and rubber. It's actually not very appealing at all.
No.
So the smoke attaches itself to each and every kernel of grain, and throughout all the remaining processes of making Scotch whiskey, when it comes down to drinking a glass of Scotch, what you smell and what you taste is actually not whiskey.
It's the peat moss that they use to dry the grain with.
Precisely.
Wow.
So, and this is why Scotch whiskey is so radically different than any other type of whiskey in the world. And it appeals to some, and it does not appeal to others. However, there are some pockets of Scotland where they do not use this process, such as in the Speyside and the Lowland and pockets of the Isle. And there they use natural gas to dry the grain. It makes the whiskey extremely delicate and refined.
And you can't get any of that stuff.
Yeah, it is the favored whiskey of the people of Scotland, and they buy it all up. And with rare exception, you just can't find it in the United States. And when you do, it's quite costly.
So you put together some of this whiskey, this single malt whiskey, and
malt whiskey, yes.
Yeah, and you took it to an international competition and beat all the Scotch whiskeys that entered.
Yeah. So we use the same tradition as the Scotch distilleries, and we even go a step further. We age our whiskey in bourbon barrels, and then after a period of time, we take it out and we transfer it to a rum cask, where it gains a whole nother level of complexity in its flavor and aroma. I like to refer to it as a sincere attempt at mastery in whiskey making, and to share with people how sincere we are about it, we sent it to the world's most prestigious and challenging judging event, the San Francisco International Wine and Spirits Competition.
And you finished second.
So, about 3 weeks ago, we got our silver medal in the mail.
Which is awesome, and especially when you consider, let me ask you this question. How long did you age this masterpiece of yours?
Well, so that's the key phrase. Is in our category of single malt whiskeys, there are roughly 1,500 entries from around the world, and the age ranges go out to 22 years.
Yeah.
And while I was not satisfied with silver medal, first place loser, I was somewhat consoled, and I think it's noteworthy that the whiskey that I entered into that contest was the ripe old age of 12 months old.
12 months old. Are you intrigued? I was enough to get Quentin Weatherspoon on the air with us so that you could find out about the WeatherspoonDistillery.com. Quentin, thanks very much for your time. Good luck, okay?
You bet. Anytime.
God bless you, my friend, Quentin Weatherspoon. Go to WeatherspoonDistillery.com, and you will have a wonderful evening with Quentin. You're listening to The Wells Report.
Sean Hannity believes the establishment GOP is the reason why Donald Trump has risen in the polls.
That's what this has become, a weak, and timid and visionless Washington Republican establishment. And it's now hit a tipping point. Dovetails perfectly into an analysis of why you see the meteoric rise of Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This week on House Talk Today, we continue our Consumer Report series, Creating the Perfect Kitchen. This Saturday, the last of our Part 3 series, Choosing Appliances. From ranges and cooktops to dishwashers and refrigerators, you don't want to miss this segment. Plus, the Organic Garden segment, and of course, your phone calls. So find a cool spot, tune in, and enjoy a little House Talk Today.
Tune in to House Talk Today, tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM, The Answer.
This isn't a commercial. It's a gift to anyone who's sick and tired of dealing with their hearing loss. Because we'll give everyone who calls a risk-free trial of a life-changing hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Not only that, we'll also give you free shipping and free batteries for life. But you must call now. 1-800-943-2757. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. So if you're sick of dealing with your hearing loss, let us give you a 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-943-2757. That's 1-800-943-2757. 1-800-943-2757.
Frank, I really think we need an American Home Shield home warranty.
But we have homeowners insurance.
I'm worried about our home appliances and systems breaking down, like our air conditioner. Homeowners insurance doesn't cover any of that. A home warranty does.
But homeowners insurance covers stuff that might happen, like a meteor crashing into our house or a Bigfoot attack.
A Bigfoot attack?
There's a Bigfoot outside now.
That's the neighbor's dog.
Sounds like a Bigfoot.
Homeowners insurance can cover the things that might happen, like Bigfoot destroying your home. But an American Home Shield home warranty covers what will happen, like your home systems and appliances breaking down. Protect your budget from covered breakdowns of up to 21 major home systems and appliances, your air conditioner, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-900-9517.
Pretty sure that's a Bigfoot.
For valuable free information about an American Home Shield home warranty, call 1-800-900-9517. That's 1-800-900-9517. 1-800-900-9517.
There's no question juicing is the hottest craze sweeping America today. Why? Because juicing supports healthy energy, vitality, and cleansing. It even helps you stay fit and trim. The only problem with juicing, though, is the mess, the cost, and the cleanup. Introducing the Certified Organic Juice Cleanse, the fast and easy way to get the benefits of juicing without the hassle and without the cost. The Organic Juice Cleanse is organic juicing made simple. With over 24 superfruits and dark green vegetables like blueberries, broccoli, spinach, and kale, each great tasting scoop of the Organic Juice Cleanse rejuvenates your body from the inside out. You just scoop, shake, and go, and you'll feel great every day. Best of all, be one of the first 1,000 callers and get your free bottle today. That's right. For your free bottle of the Organic Juice Cleanse, call right now. 1-800-500-3510. That's 1-800-500-3510. Call now. 1-800-500-3510.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
Are your medical expenses and insurance costs out of control? There's a way to pay less for the healthcare you need. RealMedSavings.com. It's a membership like a club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. Real Med Savings even connects you with a board-certified physician anytime, 24 hours a day. The doctor will consult with you, diagnose the condition, and when necessary, call in the prescription. You pay nothing for the doctor's consultation because you're a member. You save money because we've already negotiated discounts on dental, vision, prescription drugs, and much more. Just go to RealMedSavings.com and learn all about it. Real Med Savings is not insurance. You just save real money on your health care for you and your whole family. And it costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. No salesperson will call, and there is no long-term commitment. Convenient money-saving healthcare. RealMedSavings.com.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. Now, a Texas radio tradition, the Friday Flameout on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
Yeah, it's the Friday Flameout, your opportunity to whine, moan, groan, complain, brag, grouse, express your extreme displeasure with whatever it is that's driving you the craziest this week. Up to and including anything I may have said. I are helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, thrifty, brave, clean, forever denounced, or call us 866-660-5759. Yep, there you go. Did it again. It's the Friday Flameout. Yeah, this is where you get to whine and moan and groan and complain about anything you want to. I have given you a precursor to my particular annoying whine, which I will share with you in just a little bit. But if you have something you want to complain about, this is the time. We created this for the specific purpose of allowing you to have an opportunity to go into your weekend with a clear, unvexed spirit. See, we were talking about spirits before that. Carefully choreographed ballet, one thing. Well, anyway, so the way this works is that you will get to complain about anything you want to. We don't limit you to whatever subject we happen to be talking about at the time. So you can call us at 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759, and complain to your heart's content. And you can even complain about me. If I said something that truly annoyed you, well, this is your chance to let me hear about it. All right, so Steve in Rosser, Texas, welcome to the Friday Flameout, my friend. Oh, wait, here we go. Now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Man, I tell you what, my Friday Flameout, this is a very serious situation here, man. I've met some really stupid liberals in my life before, but I met the one that just takes the cake here, buddy.
You did, huh? You met the one.
Okay, I'm sitting on my porch on Wednesday afternoon. My son is riding his bicycle right in front of my house. This gigantic pit bull that's been terrorizing the neighborhood, that's a stray, attacked my son right in front of me. And if he hadn't been on his bicycle, there's no telling, he probably would be dead. By the time I cleared my porch and made it across my front yard, my son was screaming in a tone that I've never heard a child scream in before.
How old is he?
He's 9.
Yeah.
And it sent a feeling through me like I've never felt before in my life. He's using his bicycle to keep this pit bull off of him.
Right.
I couldn't shoot the dog at the time. I had my sidearm on me because my son was in between the dog and I.
Yeah, that's good thinking, Tex.
Yeah, well, I can thank Patriot Protection for helping me think through this.
Yeah, there you go.
So, I made it up there. The dog broke his attack, ran across the street to my neighbor's house. Now, my whole neighborhood has been wanting this dog gone. It's attacked many kids and elderly in the neighborhood. I made it to the yard over there. The dog ran in across the street to my neighbor's yard in her backyard. Okay, everybody heard the commotion going on. She saw what was happening. She told me, kill it, because she has little babies that play in the yard.
Sure.
Okay. So I chased the dog around to the back of her yard where there's a whole bunch of play toys and stuff, swing sets and blah, 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 playhouse and blah, blah, blah. And so the dog, he's trying to work an angle to attack me, and I'm trying to get an angle where I can get a straight shot and not get a ricochet and hit some kid right around here.
Yeah.
At this time this is happening, her neighbor came outside, or had been outside, heard the commotion, started screaming at me not to shoot the dog. Wait a minute. It gets better. Her boyfriend intervenes and tells me in very specific language, if I shoot that dog, he will kill me. And he kept repeating that. Okay? Many witnesses saw this and heard this. He runs and retrieves a firearm while I'm facing off with this vicious pit bull trying to protect everybody, and he shoots at me.
You're kidding me.
No, sir. From about 45 feet away, he shot at me with his pistol. All right? So the dog runs. I take cover. Everybody takes cover. I come back around the corner of the house. He is trailing it. He's running. Jumps in his Jeep and takes off. And the woman standing there telling me, I'd already hollered at them, this dog has attacked my child. Okay? My neighbor across the street who was neighbors with these other people told them, this dog needs to die, and I'm giving him permission to shoot this dog because, it's attacked so many people in the neighborhood. They said they don't care. Nobody should shoot the dog. Nobody should kill a dog. And they took a flipping shot at me because I wouldn't let that pit bull dismember my son in the street.
But aside from that, it was just a typical day, huh?
Pretty much, brother.
Hey, listen. So you got the license plate number of the guy in the Jeep, right?
Oh, now don't get me wrong. This is not a slight on Kaufman County Police Department.
Yeah.
I love these guys. They responded, and they responded in many.
Yeah.
And they went and found the guy. They made contact with him. Okay, and he admitted to firing a shot. They said he shot it in the ground.
No.
Okay. Exactly. All the witnesses said no. He told Steve many times, that woman and her boyfriend, that they would kill me if I continued after this dog and to shoot this dog. Okay, so now there's a detective on the case. I haven't heard from him yet. This just happened Wednesday. And I'm giving them time to do their investigation and find out where we go with this. And I'm pressing charges to the fullest extent.
Yes, you absolutely are. That's assault with a deadly weapon.
You would think it would be.
Or assault with intent to kill.
Or reckless discharge of a weapon.
No, not reckless discharge of a weapon. That is aggravated assault. That is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
That's the way I see it, and I'm going for the full extent. I was dealing with this animal for almost 20 minutes. Did not fire one shot. Was trying to be, I didn't want to ricochet and hit a kid. I mean, there's so many people running around freaking out over this. And this guy just goes fronts and willy-nilly grabs a firearm and takes a shot at me, trying to protect my family and everybody else. So, yeah, this cat's got a problem now, brother.
Yeah, he's in trouble. And then, of course, there's don't forget the civil suit.
I ain't forgetting nothing. My
Yeah,
friend.
don't forget the civil lawsuit. The criminal suit, he may be able to get. I doubt that he'll be able to. This seems pretty clear cut, especially if you've got a bunch of neighbors that will corroborate your story. But he's not going to be able to. He's not going to be able to get away from the civil suit where your heart went pity patter, and for every time it pitied, that's $10,000, and every time it pattered, that's $25,000, and it must have been 3 or 4 minutes that it did pity patter. So, gosh, I don't know that I would sue for much less than $750,000.
Well, we're getting the ball rolling. I tell you what, I'm going to do everything I can. I mean, I've heard that liberalism is a mental disease. That was proof of it on Wednesday, brother.
That's pretty impressive. That is a, I've been doing the Friday Flame Out for a long time, but you're the first guy that's ever shown up on the Friday Flame Out whining and moaning and groaning and complaining about a guy engaging them in a gunfight. That's the first time it's happened.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. It's not something that I want to happen again. And I explained to this deputy, one of the deputies there, I said, this is a bunch of crap. It's a crying shame that I am trying to keep my child from being mauled and dismembered in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm at risk of taking a bullet to the back of the head.
Yeah, I think if he'd have shot at me, I think I would have had to shoot him.
Let me tell you something. I thought through the situation, okay? A vicious pit bull in front of me, a crazy maniac to my right, 45 feet away with a firearm that I didn't know that he ran and got. And then there's a shot rang out. He shoots at me. The dog broke his attack and took off. I immediately took 6-7 steps backwards and took cover. And then proceeded to deal with that threat from my right-hand side, which that threat turned tail and ran.
Wow. I got to tell you, it's almost like that dog has heard that sound before.
Oh, he has.
Yeah. Well, time to get out of Dodge. They're hauling out. Have you seen him since?
He was spotted this morning as my wife was going to work. So when I get off work tonight, guess who's going to be on his front porch with something special sitting in his lap.
Well, there you go. Well, remember background and make sure the cops know what you're up to.
Brother, I got it covered. And like I said, I honestly, I'm trying to get a hold of Patriot Protection and talk to Robbie Alman about that, because all that training kicked in like that. And I did not needlessly fire. I was focused. was around, aware of my surroundings and worked through the situation. And, you know, it worked out pretty good so far.
That's awesome, man. What a great story. And Patriot Protection, in case you don't know, Patriot Protection is just an amazing organization that will teach you the realities of being in a gunfight or engaged in a deadly force situation. And the one thing that I learned is that you can do anything you want to about working with targets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But when you start working at Patriot Protection, it goes from 2 dimensions into 3 dimensions. Because when you're shooting at a target, it's basically a 2-dimensional situation. But if you're shooting at somebody who is shooting back at you, that's a 3-dimensional situation, and it totally changes the game. Steve, thanks very much for your story. Wow. Okay. So what are you complaining about? Oh, I have a hangnail. You know, somebody scorched my oatmeal at this shishi little breakfast place I went to, corner bakery. No, I'm complaining about this guy who wanted to shoot me because I was trying to kill a rabid pit bull from tearing off one of my boy's legs. That's a new one. Haven't heard that one before. Yeah, I want to complain. Yeah, what do you want to complain about? I got to complain about my neighbor shooting at me. What? Wow. Unbelievable. You're listening to the Wells Report. You don't have to beat that one. I mean, I know it's hard to follow that one, but whatever it is that you're being driven crazy by, now is the time for you to call me on the telephone and complain about it so that you can go into your weekend totally and completely happy, well-adjusted, peaceful. This was put together by the National Constitution Center and a guy named Roger Clegg. Let's keep the Voting Rights Act focused on actual racial discrimination. The Voting Rights Act was passed on August 6th, 1965, because of the appalling denial to African Americans of the right to vote in, especially, the Deep South. There was and is an overwhelming national consensus that such discrimination is wrong, and this consensus was and is bipartisan. Indeed, it's interesting that Republicans voted in favor of the 1965 Voting Rights Act more solidly in both houses of Congress than did Democrats. The act has transformed the American political landscape and has been remarkably effective in halting racial discrimination in voting. There have, however, some problems that have happened that have emerged over time, to be sure, largely as a result of bureaucratic overreach. Whenever efforts are made to address those excesses, the left likes to assert the basic principle of non-discrimination is being challenged, but that's not true. Subsequent disputes over the act involve 2 things: the use of disparate impact, the other, and that, by the way, is using the act to challenge racial disproportions of one kind or another, even though those disproportions are not the result of actual discrimination, and whether there is any longer justification for Section 5 of the act, which, by the way, involves preclearance and was set aside by the Supreme Court of the United States. What happens is this is turned into something that it is not and should not be. In other words, racial discrimination is claimed when there is no actual racial discrimination. And what ends up happening is that even though you're using a statistical circumstance to justify the use of the Voting Rights Act, it's not based on discrimination, even though the act was. You know, this kind of stuff is political manipulation of reality, and it's got to stop. This is the Wells Report.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-573-2467. That's 1-800-573-2467. 1-800-573-2467. Or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome a Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
There was a lot to love about your timeshare, but when it's time to get out, there's a lot to love about ResortRelease.com. ResortRelease.com helps timeshare owners terminate their contracts and end all future payments guaranteed. Imagine how great it would feel to end all legal responsibility and never pay another timeshare fee. If you've tried to sell your timeshare, you know how impossible it can feel. Our 100% guarantee lets you legally and permanently walk away, or you pay nothing. ResortRelease.com holds a Better Business Bureau A+ rating. We're the only timeshare cancellation company in the nation with their prestigious accreditation. Act now and avoid 2016's maintenance fees. Talk to one of ResortRelease.com's trusted expert asset managers and see if your property qualifies at 800-281-9595. That's 800-281-9595. Experience ResortRelease.com's easy cancellation process and free yourself from the burden of that timeshare. Call 800-281-9595. 800-281-9595 or visit resortrelease.com.
Okay, you're on. We are here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, AbacusFoundationRepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
It's the Friday Flameout. My name is Jon-David Wells. You are whoever you are. 866-660-5759. You're welcome to join us. You have scant a few minutes, just a couple of seconds left to get your Friday Flameout out on the air and thus cleanse and de-vex your soul. 866-660-5759 is our telephone number. I don't know whether you're familiar with an NPR radio broadcast, but there is a classic one out there called A Prairie Home Companion. The creator of it is a guy named Garrison Keillor. Garrison Keillor is 72 years old, and he has announced his retirement. He will no longer be the rich baritone voice behind the stories of Lake Wobegon, a mythical Minnesota hometown, where all the women are strong, all the men are good looking, and all the children are above average. 4 million listeners listen every weekend on 700 public radio stations each week. They do an America the Beautiful cross-country tour where they do the show live, and this one is going to be his last. He's got some other things he wants to do. Nobody's going to retire, et cetera, and I understand all that. And Garrison Keillor, if you have not heard of Prairie Home Companion, make sure you check it out on your local PBS station. Good luck, Garrison. You've been very, very good for a long time. The executive producer of The Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. Have a nice night. We'll see you again tomorrow, actually Monday, for another edition of The Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show.
The 2016 campaigns roll on. News stories arise from local events and all over the world, and you are in good hands during My Vacation Week. Enjoy Tim O'Hare and Wade Emmert as they guide you through the issues and ask what you think about it all. I'll saddle up again on Monday the 17th with plenty to cover, I'm sure. Till then, stay cool. I'll see you soon.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
You've been thinking about switching to solar. Don't wait much longer or you'll miss out on this year's federal tax credit. Move quickly because the tide is turning. Solar power is becoming a threat to big energy profits. In fact, some power companies are even pushing for extra fees to make up for lost revenue. Warning, you must have your solar system up and running by midnight December 31st or you'll miss out on this year's federal tax credit. Energy prices are expected to increase by as much as 40% in the near future. Go solar now with no down payment, interest, or payments for a whole year. You can afford it because we finance. Get your government money and save big every month. Big Energy is getting nervous and the door of opportunity is about to slam shut. Paying $150 a month or more on energy bills? Then call 1-800-MY-SOLAR now for a free in-home assessment. 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
My home, my savings, 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
The Good Contractors List is a free service designed to protect you. We meet all of our home service contractors face to face and feel so confident in our final choices that we back their work with a $10,000 guarantee. We go the extra mile in our interview process to make sure that the contractor is not only honest in quality, but able to offer the most affordable and fair rates. For instance, how do you pick who you call for air conditioning? Did you know that the air conditioning industry is commonly known for misdiagnosis and unneeded upselling? The higher their overhead, the more money they need to stay in business. So they flash tempting offers to get their foot in the door, and the sales game is on. The air conditioning companies we choose are simply stable and proven companies that offer the highest